this second map is actually the view that you would have seen just from the other side. Where that green circle is where you guys were kept.
That makes a
Fancy.
lot more sense. Okay.
Beware Brad's telepathic butt plug. Be right back.
That's pretty cool. I definitely enjoy both of those maps. But the side view definitely makes it far more visible.
How do we miss that rope bridge?
It's what we were on, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's the like we were down there at the first. I think we were over there on the far right, right? And then
That's right. We did cross a bridge. I remember that. Yep.
and
We
that's
have
where
the
all
map.
ropes were.
Yeah, we have the map we're on underneath the side view.
So on the map we're looking at that has Velkenvelv in there, we would be on the right of the map?
Left. Where the green circle is that's where we were kept.
Right. But I was talking about where we are now. We went toward the left. Not like it matters.
No, we went right.
You all went into the tiny tunnel away from the way that the demons came from.
Oh, you mean on the ground or you mean up top? Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
confused.
On the ground.
Oh, yeah, then.
Roger.
By the way, there was a lot more of us that survived than I expected.
Agreed.
A couple of
Because-
your group decided to stay back to try and delay, or got a little bit pissed off and weren't gonna follow anyways.
We didn't successfully meet their checks.
Which was like what the half, or was it the orc? Then of course there was Lady Shell, rest her soul, and then it was the weird, crazy
The prince.
prince. I think there was the only three, right?
Yes. Everybody else made it, mostly because you guys stopped and helped NPCs out of the webs.
Yay!
We do
We are
good.
generous. Well, as a paladin, I feel like we did the right thing.
I hope so.
Freeing the slaves. I'm all about that. That's actually part of my mantra.
It was meant to be.
It's a weird mantra.
Okay, I'm back.
Well, when you worship Alestri, like that's one of her things, since she is the actual dichotomy of like Lolth. So it's like, free slaves. Cool.
Ooh.
Kill people very quickly. Don't torture them, unless you need information. That's a gray area in my opinion. Whatever.
I do all this good unless there's a good reason not to do it, in which case I'm just gonna pick whatever I'm gonna do.
Well, I am a drow.
Essentially.
Like a full-blooded drow.
A paladin in and of itself for a drow is a gray area.
I mean, I could theoretically justify pretty much anything I want to.
Well, there's the tiefling priest.
That's how a lot of the Catholic priests did it, and a lot of them are okay.
So a
You gotta do what you gotta do.
handful of quick notes. In your guys' inventory on your character sheets, you should have your starting inventory now.
Yay.
Bad joke is bad.
I don't have it.
Right. That's my fault.
Except for you. Everybody else.
Because yours is the one that I accidentally deleted and I didn't get it moved over.
Awesome.
I was joking, but shit, everybody but you. She made it and then said no.
I should mention I don't have that rusty bar anymore.
You dropped the rusty bar?
Yeah.
Yeah, I used it to block the door.
Yes.
Right.
Tasha walks around looking for her stuff.
It's
There we go. Covered it.
You have the chest. I just didn't put it in your inventory. I'm sorry.
I'm just giving you shit. It's fine.
Well, thank you. I really appreciate you going to all that effort to put in our stuff.
Everybody's clearly. Yeah.
Yep. She's good like that.
Every
Woo.
single person here. Everyone.
Oh.
Well, I wasn't being facetious or anything. I was just thankful that you actually put in all my stuff. So it was very nice of you. And
Oh no, it was very nice with her. I'm just messing with Roasted. I like messing with people.
I got you. It's just
So
throwing that out
that's what
there.
happened to that poor telepathic spore guy.
What, you turn him into soup?
You
No,
see
he just
nothing.
wanted to mess with him. That's all. That's all.
Oh,
It was totally consensual.
An elephant can find many ways to fit 3 feet in him.
uh,
That took you a second.
no, I didn't hold L button. You forget, I actually have push to talk on.
oh yeah, guys. Just a heads up. I am on call this evening, so if I get a call, I have to take it. So
Yep.
sorry.
No worries.
You Paul bastard.
What is it you do?
Just tell him to turn it off and turn it on again.
Yeah, what is it you do?
Work for police department and emergency personnel. So like, if something goes down, it's like the 911 call center. I get the
Yep,
call.
get on that
so,
now.
Yeah, it's like I can't really say no. It's kind of important.
Yeah, just do what Silver said. Tell them to turn it off and back on again.
I'm sorry,
generally do.
sorry, ma'am. We don't send police response out for your cat.
I'm sorry you're being robbed. Have you tried turning your lights off and back on again? He might disappear.
Okay, so it's not sorted the way that you had it on your other character sheet, but you should have everything now.
Thank
Yay.
you so much. Now everyone can see all of my stuff.
Yay, my Great Axe stuff is still there.
No, we can't. I can't see people's anything.
Cool.
You sort of can, because you do have access to the inventory screen on the party sheet, but otherwise you can't see their character sheets.
Okay.
Whoa, we got 60 gold in the party sheet somehow?
So you guys also looted the armory upstairs, and you haven't had a chance to see what it is that you got.
I did steal their chest.
This is all of the assorted stuff that was found in that chest, once you guys had time to sit down and look.
Do we have time? So we have sat down and chilled out, or is this like something we need to do because we're still running?
I believe the last time we ran, we assumed that you guys continued down this path until you guys got tired and took a long rest.
Cool. Okay. Well.
Let's go through our stuff now. I mean, to be fair, yeah, did steal the entire chest, so
Well, you stole a chest of many. And your guys' inventory. Because I was nice.
That was pretty sweet.
well, we did actually say like a couple of us took a bunch of stuff from other chests, shoved it into one, and then I just took that.
Well, you rolled poorly.
I can say that we all contributed to the stealing of said chest, one way or the other, whether we were helping our fellow party members or shoving things in the chest.
I also get to figure out how spiced rum and Rockstar taste.
Probably good.
could be interesting.
Peach sangria.
So, also, if you hear something loud on my end, my wife's playing a video game next to me. I'm sorry.
Lovely.
How,
And you're not joining her, you monster.
how dare she have hobbies?
Yet I don't even know what RPG she's playing. So, but to the matter at hand, lady and gentlemen.
Why, thank you.
Never mind. Insulting you would insult Roasted, and I'm not trying to do that.
I am not easily offended.
I was going to call him the lady, but then that would insinuate you're a man, and that's just not what I was trying to do.
You will also notice that everybody has experience already.
How close are we?
I have
No,
experienced
7.
things.
I
You
don't
are all
see.
a little bit over halfway to the next level. Simply from the series of events that took place from you guys escaping.
I might be a tad bit of an idiot, but where's my experience listed?
If you go to the little thing next to your level in class, and you click the little magnifying glass, you go in there, it'll give you your XP and then XP for the next level.
Okay.
So it's we are. I mean, considering that we really didn't do any combat whatsoever, I think we're on an excellent point.
We did no. Yeah, we literally just
Well, we
ran
did win,
away.
didn't we?
No.
You killed an ooze.
Well,
Okay,
somebody
sure, we
killed
did
it.
that.
I generally give out experience when there's something that happens that would require it. Like, you guys did quite a bit, whether you realize it or not.
We learned a lot.
You don't necessarily have to focus on combat to gain experience.
We learned the true value of friendship and spores.
Excellent.
We
Love
learned the true value of friendship for some people.
That's true. I was too busy being drunk. Well, not drunk and crazy in the corner because of that.
Yes, beer making also.
Yes, I was attempting.
How not to do it.
Quite.
I think you were trying to pull a dogfish head and use the yeast in your beard, right?
Yes.
Yeah,
Unfortunately,
yeah,
I was still about a week away from that being successful.
and
Luckily,
cave
the drought.
water.
Yes, luckily the drought provided.
So I figure you guys probably sat down with everybody. It's a huge group at the moment. And started to discuss where to head from here.
I think, didn't we collectively agree that we were going to go to the frog face first as the spore? I think actually the spore told us that it was okay to go to frog face's place.
Shushar, who is apparently
Yes.
Frogface,
Works for me.
mentioned that Sluvludop is going to be the closest to where you guys are currently.
And while we're are we still in the water, or where are we now?
You guys have headed up this top left little chute about a day's worth of travel. A little bit less because you don't know when it is that you started.
Oh, where did that?
So we stopped here in this cave. We had a long rest. We had a talk with the gentleman with the headaches, and determined that something was up with that. I didn't take notes on that one. But that it was not something that a cure wounds spell could heal.
You had a feeling that there is something causing his headaches, but cure wounds did nothing.
Right.
Does it make a huge difference to make sure that, I mean, I guess it does for weight, but in our inventory, there's the carried, not carried, and equipped. Like, buttons.
For like armor and weapons, you want it to say you're equipped, otherwise carried.
Also, double check your guys's because she just wrote leather for me, not leather armor. So I had to
I
double check.
didn't actually do that. That is the way it is in the items.
That's weird, but okay. It just reminded me of Final Fantasy 1. You have leather, you have iron.
Oh no. I'm somewhat naked of armor. This is unfortunate.
Do you not have armor?
I think it was only the paladin who had armor. The rest of us,
No,
we
I
didn't
have
grab
armor.
it.
You are barbarian.
You should have something. I mean, barbarian is light, medium armor, but
You should have a good unarmored defense, though, if you
Yeah.
would
Oh yeah,
combine
I
dex
do.
and con.
Barbarian does not start with armor.
oh,
Okay then.
you
I'll
just
just run
equipped
around naked.
clothing. No, you have
Um,
clothing.
it's because you have unarmored
I have a
defense,
loincloth.
which is you already have a higher defense than you would with armor.
Yeah, isn't it the dex bonus and the con
Works for me.
bonus
Yes.
added to the AC? Yeah.
I mean, I'm wearing my leather armor even though I have a nat 15 AC.
Well, damn you then.
Yeah, the unarmored defense I think is either is it 10
Oh, it's a
plus your
trait.
Yeah.
I think it's
10 plus
plus your
dex
dex and
plus
con bonus.
Yep.
And then let me guess, because it's a trait, it probably doesn't work if you have certain armors equipped.
What do you mean?
Yeah,
I
you get
don't
one or
know.
the other. Like my unarmored defense on one barbarian was
Oh,
very
you
high,
just
and
get
when
to
I
pick
put
it.
on armor, my AC actually went down.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's what I'm saying. Equipping armor affects and fucks with that trait.
Yes. Yeah, it would.
It'll replace it.
Loxodon is a little bit nope, it does specify when you aren't wearing armor.
Oh well, no, because I equipped armor and my AC didn't change. That must not be something that's.
I noticed that when I played a barbarian, it did not give me the unarmored. Wait, no, it did. No, it did. That's what I was thinking about a fighter.
Right now, Brad, your armor class is higher without your leather equipped than it would be otherwise.
Right, but it's not changing my AC on my character sheet. I'm 50. What if I toggle it
It's
equipped? It's
because
still
of the
15.
way that it's calculating it. It didn't automatically pull in your natural armor, so I went in and modified it.
Ew. Okay.
With your leather armor on, your AC would be 13. No, actually, just 11, because you don't have a dex modifier. Without your
Okay.
armor on, your AC is 15.
Go naked.
Yes.
So I have a. Oh, I'm totally gonna have a new image then. That being the case.
Just Google naked dwarf.
No, I got one. Don't worry.
Oh,
Excuse me?
I mean, you have clothes.
He said he
That's
wanted
all
to.
the clothes I need.
Just not armor.
Oh, of course, it doesn't show properly.
Oh, that's actually really fucking cool.
It is, isn't it?
Yeah, wow, it doesn't show up right.
whoa, that is
That
super
is
badass.
that is a lot cooler.
What?
That is mine.
She's saving it. Okay, anyways. Do we have absolutely no idea where we're going, right? I mean,
There are a couple of you that have an idea of where you could go from here, but none of you know exactly where Velkenvelv was originally. And
and
the
that's the
Underdark is known to change.
Well, I know that we were heading for Sloobadoop, or whatever the
There
name
we go.
is.
well, whose place we're going to? Shushar's place first. His home.
Yes.
Fuck. Where is he on this list? I don't see anyone's names.
On which list?
Literally the map. I thought I
He's
could
down
hover
there
over.
at the
If you
bottom.
He's
hover
on there.
over them, you'll see them. It comes up in a little pop-up.
Or if you go image and maps and shared, he's on there.
Nope.
Which map are you looking at?
The one with all of us on it.
Shushar is directly above me, and he's right next to the mushroom. And next to Prescott.
Okay.
Is that
She
who
came
you're
over.
looking for?
Yeah, she came over to look, and yeah, she said that's weird. I don't apparently can't see names.
Me neither.
Yeah,
Maybe it's
names
a
aren't populating for me as well, but I only know of
maybe it's a
Shushar's frog
permissions thing.
face, so that's why I knew his little. I had that mental image.
Well, anyways, maybe I guess I guess I know who, but maybe it's a permissions thing. Either way, Prescott looks at Shushar. Okay, we're out. Which way do we go?
Also, apparently I can't delete those lines now.
That might be my fault. It will be fixed on the next map.
Yay.
And I figured as much that was you, you asshole.
Hehe. Well, I was going to make little arrows, but I didn't feel like wasting the time to do it.
So what did you say again?
I asked him basically where and which way. Just as
Lead
Prescott.
us to your home, essentially.
Take me to your leader.
He looks up and looks at the people around him. Is a little bit surprised because a lot has happened in the last day. But he says, we are headed the right direction. It should, if I'm remembering right, if I know this area right, take about a week.
A week of like walking, or do we get like a worm to ride on? Cause that's a long ass time.
Bah, I vote we build a sled to make the elephant drag us.
What do you take me for, you dwarf?
A pack mule.
And I take you for a drunkard. Shut up.
Thank you.
If we're going to get out of here, then we have to go in a direction. So if you want to find your way out, come with us.
Can I do a survival check to see if I'm familiar, like if I know he's saying the right thing or if I'm slightly familiar?
Yes.
While he's doing that, I hold up little buddy,
Boo, I
and
know C-roll.
And you what?
and I look at him and ask him, point the way, little buddy.
Majima, you are familiar, at least loosely, with a couple of the drow cities of the Underdark. Velkenvolve is an outpost. You don't know exactly the location, but of your knowledge of the Underdark, you have a feeling that Shushar is likely telling what he knows as truth.
So we'll just have to go a couple of days and try to catch our bearings. Got it. All right.
Yay. Wander aimlessly in the Underdark.
Yeah, the Underdark is not an exact science.
This looks like a pretty tight passage. So should we put in a marching order?
Yeah, I mean,
I would like actually 2 different marching orders. What order would you be in if it's single file?
I would assume the paladin up front, maybe the dwarf in the back for cover,
Yeah, I'd be somewhere in the middle.
and the other two wherever the heck in the middle.
do we not have a rogue?
No.
I don't think so.
None of the NPCs are rogues? Like Topsy or Turvy?
Well, I think it's mostly
No,
just us.
Topsy and Turvy are assuredly rogues. Come on now, that's like rogue twins right there.
The 2 that aren't here right now are Bard and Artificer. Artificer is fairly close to Rogue in terms of they do have quite a few thief-like skills.
So I was kind of hoping to get the rogue out front to check for like traps, pitfalls, that sort of thing, and I'd be behind the rogue.
And he's not here to protest, so yes.
Let's just throw that out there now. So was Topsy and Turvy rogues, or
I hope so. With names like that, they're either mages or rogues.
I mean, we don't have to put any NPCs in danger. I'm totally fine with that. I just figured if they've got some really amazing, like, skills.
Don't underestimate my ability to use small people as shields.
I'll
I am
keep an
not
eye out for
surprised.
that.
I put Tashe's token on the marching information sheet.
Ooh,
There's a marching information sheet?
I was just about to say the same damn thing.
Oh.
Party sheet.
If you
Yeah,
go
just-
into the party sheet, there should be a tab that says order.
There's a party sheet.
I know.
It's the one that has the eye with like 3 people next to it in the top right.
Yeah, that's where the inventory is, and that's
Him and I clearly have not used this
Yes, basically.
that much.
I mean, the last time we played, I kind of suffered from an unfortunate dying accident. Thanks.
I think we
Certain
should
cat.
make that the standard punishment. If you don't show up, you have to go out front.
well, I mean that's one way to put it.
I mean, I was just gonna fuck over Zarin anyways, because I mean, I love to mess with him, but I like her reasoning better. It's less asshole-ish.
Well, also you can do like combat in the party sheet, like on the fly. If you don't have a map or something like that for like a brief battle or something like that, you can
Oh,
throw
that's cool.
NPCs on there, and you could actually do a battle.
I can't seem to put myself on there, though, for some reason.
Use the token from your character sheet. Or the portrait.
Yeah, you
that
just
works from the board.
drag and drop.
Hey.
Yeah, I'm having problems doing that. Hold on,
The way that I got
because
Fulgar
I
on
can't
there
click on
was I
I can't
dragged
click on myself.
I dragged from the watch order on the left the picture to the marching information side.
When I try to drag me over from the left, I just drag the window.
Well, I dragged from the
There
top
we
left
go.
corner. There you go.
I dragged from my character sheet.
Yeah, me too.
And that would be.
Well, close enough.
I guess it is in the top left, but I tried from the top right.
I did too.
Probably wouldn't be bad to have Mavis near the back.
So something like that.
That'll work.
What are
Works for
we
me.
gonna do with the NPCs? Are they gonna be like intermixed in between us, or how do you wanna
We'll
how do you
assume.
want us to do that, Jade?
They should form a perimeter around the party.
They're shields.
Spend acceptable losses.
I told you.
I thought we were trying to save them, like liberate them, freedom.
I'm sorry,
Like,
that was not
Well, you know.
I'll liberate them for as long as they're useful.
We already did that. They have been liberated, you know. But what happens now is between.
we're kind of like the Underground Railroad right now, guys. We can make this happen.
Choo choo.
Okay, I think the direction we are marching is through that tunnel away from the prison. Is that right?
Never mind. I had to get confirmation. I drew on the party sheet the marching and formation order, and I wrote the word ass and pointed it at Silver's character, but no one's mentioned it. So
I don't
damn.
see it.
I know. That's why I'm sad.
Mhm.
Damn.
What were you asking?
I was asking, we're in this tunnel and we are going to start marching through the tunnel in the direction away from Velkenveld. Is that correct?
Yes. Sorry, making a note to myself.
Kill Brad first.
Basically, that's what I was thinking.
Okay, so there will be parts of the tunnel that extend to about 10-15 feet wide. If you were to march too wide, what would the order be?
Well, even single file, I would still hold on to stool, but
I
it.
would.
Well, I guess even too wide. I guess I would because I'm pretty sure he can't walk that fast.
Oh, I was gonna say, do you guys just want to say that we all like move up side by side? So I'd move up next to Thalwar. Let's call him Crystal
That's what I was
Fist.
thinking.
Crystal Fist just sounds so much better. I'm just gonna call him Crystal Fist.
Well, what is he for that? Arcanist? So wouldn't he be more of the ranged kind of? So he'd probably want him in the back. I would assume he'd probably be next to me.
Keep in mind that things can come at you from both sides. Front and back.
True enough.
Probably bottom and top too.
Someone put the other the two characters up there. Thor and Mavis.
In that case, do you want to take the front? I'll take the back.
I mean, I was gonna say I'll stick near the front like I was before. I have no problem doing that.
Hold on. Put the other. There we go. There's Mavis. Okay.
Whoa, what kind of attack do you have, Brad?
There. That order. Right there. Me in the middle, and the bard just wherever. I don't.
I guess
Damn.
that'll work.
Just protect the elephant at all costs. I know you said too wide, but
The elephant will be fine. He has a higher AC than the rest of us.
that's how I'll live. I'll use everyone as a shield first, and then I'm good to escape.
Then you rely on your AC.
Kind of want to find like an eagle race, like a sentient eagle that just constantly harasses Prescott.
Yes, please.
I've played as the bird people and the cat people. If you can just find those fuckers.
Which bird
He
people?
has.
The
He
Kanku or
has.
the Aarakocra?
Or no, I didn't play as the bird people. We had a bird person. What was that game? Was that the game with Silver, Zarin, and our friends, or was that with Noah?
None of us with us. I will never forget the antics of Catman.
I think the bird person was with Noah and Marsha
I don't
in
think we
person.
had a bird person.
Oh no, you had bird person. Either way, I might be confusing it with that. I don't think I played as bird person, but yeah, either way, either of those two.
Yeah, it was just more of like a college football joke. I don't actually watch it. I just know that the elephant represents, basically dueling banjos.
Yeah, I didn't get
What
sports out
college
of
are you
that
from?
at all.
So Alabama, Auburn. Auburn is War Eagle. Alabama's the elephant.
Nope.
Of that, all I know is Roll Tide. Otherwise, I don't know or know.
That's
You
fine.
don't know the no.
I don't watch it. I'm just saying it was just a reference. That's why I was like, if we could have an eagle character, you guys could constantly just be at each other's throat.
I
And it'd be
lived in
hilarious.
I lived in Alabama for 9, 6, 7 months. I just try to block that out of my
Ugh.
memory. I'm from Southern California, and in the 7th grade, lived in Alabama for 7 months. I really try to block it out.
That's
It's a
traumatic.
drastic cultural difference.
Significantly.
And the other question that I have is, are you guys going to set a watch per night?
Probably. I would assume so. At least one.
Always
Yeah,
the bard.
definitely.
I was gonna say if you want, since I'm an elf, since I'm a drow, all I need is 4 hours for a full
Oh
rest. I'll take if you guys do the first 4 hours, I will grab the entire rest
Well,
of the
you
evening.
could split it with Mavis because he's also an elf.
Oh yeah, so yeah, we could do that.
There we go.
Yeah. I mean, that makes the most logistical sense. I'm sure if he were here, he would complain, but he's not.
But you do realize like he might start like breaking out into song in the middle of the night and wake you guys up.
All right, never mind. I trust Shroom more.
No, I think he would be trusted to do one of the watches. So if you want, we could break it up into 2 different watches,
Literally.
and then we would
So
both
the
get full
rest of
rest at
you
4
guys
hours.
get the full rest while the two elves swap out.
Basically.
Jawohl.
Would you guys swap per day? Like who takes first and who takes second?
I mean, I'm cool with constant. I mean, we'll have to see when he gets back. But I mean, when Synth gets back, I'm cool with doing the first shift if he wants to do the second, or for the time being, I say we go with that. And then if he wants to change it, I'm more than happy to change it up then.
Okay.
Hopefully that'll make it easier on you in your notes, so because like changing it up every other time might be.
Both of you actually have the same perception roll right at the moment, so it doesn't make much of a difference.
I still trust the mushroom over him.
I'm sure most people trust the mushroom over anyone else.
Well, I don't have a skill available, so I guess.
I don't know. I'm pretty jazzed about Topsy and Turvy. I'm not gonna lie.
I just want to put Topsy on top of Turby and then put them in a trench coat and see how that goes.
Welcome to the mind of Brad, everybody.
This is not unusual.
I know, that's why I said it.
Fuck all three of you. Silver, Christina, and my mother-in-law behind me cackling. Fuck all of you.
Thank you, mother-in-law. You're the best.
That actually is pretty awesome that there's somebody off screen just adding to all this. That's pretty cool.
That was great.
I don't have enough rum in me. Fuck all of you.
All right, so moving along.
So you
Sleeping
guys
or marching?
spend that first night resting, spend a little bit of the first day, the next day, talking about what you're going to be doing.
In our off time, I do study my book as much as possible. I have my head in my book. I was going to say 24/7, but as much as capable.
If you are reading a book, Tashe is going to come and ask you about it.
I know I heard. Don't give me that look. I'm trying to figure out how I want to approach this.
I can. She won't like. Well, she can be. What what are you reading?
It's from my world. It's from the place in the mountains, in the sky. You just wouldn't understand. It's it. Are you familiar with eldritch horrors?
I am not.
Okay then. So read a primer or two and come back to me in a few weeks.
Is it a story? Or a holy text?
All of the above.
That's amazing.
It's whatever you want it to be, and then 3 more things on top of that.
I hope one day to be able to read such a book.
I just not you can't but not this one. You can't read this one.
Fair enough. Then she's gonna get up and walk away.
Hey Jade, is anybody in the party have the ability to make a map, like pen, quill, the whole
The map, the map, the map, the
kit and
map.
caboodle?
I actually ironically have a quill and ink, so yes.
I was gonna say, do you want to make a map so that way we can come back here?
You're harshing my reading time.
Well, I'm just saying that way we can come back and free more slaves later and
felonious fool.
Well, I actually want to murder Mistress Elvar, so of House.
Fine.
Yeah.
Don't trust a dwarf. He's just drunk anyways, or he wants to be.
I mean,
I am best when drunk.
eh.
Let's see how you make a map when drunk.
Considering underground, probably quite skillfully.
Plus, I mean, if we get lost, that way we can at least retrace our steps, right?
Yeah. Fine.
Thank you, Elephant Man.
As far as actual skill with creating maps, as far as I can tell, nobody in the party has it.
Oh, I did say I had skill to do this. I just said I have a quill and ink. I don't know if a map is going to appear afterwards, but something will show up.
And because you said you would do it, I don't know this, so I'm taking you at your word. Oh my.
So he like looks at the ink and looks at the paper and says, "Oh shit."
I'm just writing the whole time. I'm not doing a map. I'm just making notes in my book and like
Stick people
annotating.
walking on a line.
Spears going through bards, that sort of thing. What the fuck? If I'm the reason if we get us killed, I am very sorry.
Now, are you gonna say anything about not being able to draw a map? Or are you just gonna be quiet and do it?
Nope. I'm not saying a damn thing. Prescott's very proud and wants to know everything. So I'm just saying I'm going to do what he says. I might try for a good 5 minutes, and then when I realize map making is not my calling, I just kind of go on to something else.
Well, that's going to be fun later in the story. So,
Yes. Shall we carry on?
Indeed.
So you very quickly realize that it's rather boring. Just there's no change in the tunnel. There's no way to tell how long has passed except for if you light a torch, it eventually goes out.
So to be fair, even if I was trying to make a map, I mean, I draw a circle.
You make a very long line right next to another very long line. There are no, at least thus far, there are no forks in this tunnel. It just continues winding deeper and deeper. Or maybe staying the same. It's very kind of hard to tell. At times it goes up, at times it goes down. You don't know what relative level you're at.
I check in with little buddy. Hey, Stool, where are we?
At this point in time, you are in a very narrow tunnel. It doesn't narrow to the point that you can't get through, but you're definitely having to go single file at the moment.
Yeah, let's shove the 7 whatever in a tiny tunnel. Yay. And that was in character.
Because Stool is considered small, I'm letting him be carried by you pretty much freely based on the fact that for carrying you're considered large.
Dinner's ready.
It does give, yes, of
Almost.
course it is.
Almost.
It does give a little bit of a gap between Majima and Thulwar, but it's not so much as to be. There's not a big gap there. So when Stool sends out his spores, everyone except for Tungdil is affected.
Again?
I never
Apparently.
got affected in the first place.
That's
No, you
the
did.
order that you guys are walking in. And what was it that you asked again?
I just asked Stool where the hell we were, and then you told me where we were, so I was very confused. You just didn't do it as Stool.
Well, I told you physical location and the fact that he shot out spores. And Stool pipes in.
Ah, always sniffing those spores.
Stool
That's
pipes in and says,
beep, beep.
All the beep. Should probably deal with that.
it says, from here, it's more than a month to home.
Damn.
Well, maybe it's thinking as a myconid, it would be a month. Maybe not as long for us.
Well, I mean, kind of say if once we get Shushar to his home village, we kind of we'll be able to kind of get our bearings from there.
Yeah.
But quick question about that. I know he was Shushar was like, wasn't he like the wise or something? Like, isn't the rest of his race rather volatile?
Based on your knowledge of the Underdark, you know Kuotoa are generally considered the insane people.
No, we left him behind.
No, you didn't. I'm right here.
No, the guy who thought he was royalty.
No, that's also Shushar. Shushar and his people. Like Shushar is like
Oh,
he's
is
super
he the
mellowed
one?
out.
Is
Like
Shusher the one that thinks he's a? She
Uh,
can't just. Instead of saying words, she just keeps looking at me and shaking her head.
Yes,
no
she's
no.
accurate.
So
Prince
Shushar was
Darendil is the one that stayed behind. He was Quaggoth.
Yes, him. So we did leave him behind.
This is Shushar you're speaking of. The
Oh,
Kuotoa
Completely different guy.
I know,
fish.
but I
Well, I
just
think
was
you called
curious.
him frog face.
I just was curious, but okay.
Yeah, that was me. I'm sorry. I was trying to remember names at the beginning, and I was like, he's a frog face.
No, frog face
So,
works.
but yeah, no, his people are rather volatile. So we might need to avoid actually going into their city. Like we might want to stay on the outskirts. Since we're all talking in our minds here, the rest of them can't hear us, so we'll go with that. But
I do have a quick question. About how quick do you think that you'd be traveling?
I would say we'd be traveling at a cautious pace because it's the Underdark, and the Underdark has traps and pitfalls and monsters that would literally just come out of nowhere on the side. Even if we're walking single file, there'll be like a cavern that'll open up, and it'll be like, oh, it's
Emerald.
yeah,
I said
it's
as fast as possible, but
a
because I
Balrog,
was taking this
Balrog.
thing off the burner, you couldn't hear me. But so you're like, careful because the Underdark sucks, and then my brain's like, oh wait, never mind. That makes way more sense.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah, it does.
I
So
mean,
would you
I,
think it would be considered normal traveling pace, fast, or slow?
In that case, probably slow.
Slow.
Well, I was
Fast
gonna.
fast does increase how far you can go, but you get negatives to like perception and you can't scavenge for food along the way.
Does slow provide any bonuses?
Slow, you can actually use stealth, so you can try and move quietly and not attract attention. And you guys have very limited food supply at the moment.
Mm-hmm. Probably a good idea.
Slow would improve your chances of just naturally finding things to eat.
Going with slow.
Yep. Slow sounds better. That sounds kind of like. Plus, we've got a group of refugees with us at the moment, so probably be good. That's my vote. If we're are we voting, guys?
You know the Underdark better, so Prescott would completely let you decide on this one.
It does take longer to go anywhere because you're going a little bit slower than normal.
Well, if it's a week at a normal pace, what is it at a slow pace?
So from the start, which you guys are about a day away, it would have been 8 days at a normal pace. At a slow pace, it's about 12.
Do you really think we're
12 it
going to find
is.
that much food?
Well, it's the
Yeah.
Underdark, so yeah.
Yeah.
You
Caves
have
full of all kinds of stuff.
you have noticed in the little bit that you've been in the Underdark, most places have um, types of edible fungus growing in them. It's not necessarily the
Delicious.
best food, but you don't.
Food is
Once
food.
you ran out of your rations, you don't have anything else.
Okay, well, no one's eating stool. I will kill you.
Well, if we all have 10 days of rations, then we're 8 days away. So have we used
Can
up
we?
what we've had so far?
Well, we're 8 days away at a normal pace, but if he wants to go a slow pace, it's 12 days. But
Oh, I
slow
got you.
pace, we can scavenge, and then we can probably make our rations last much longer.
Yeah, I'd be down. Plus, we'll be able to check out pitfalls and stuff like that, and there's less chance of us getting
Dying.
waylaid or ambushed. Like, yeah, like we may still get waylaid, but like at least we were not going to be like it pops up in the middle of the party.
And we're assuming, yeah, and we're assuming 8 days on a straight tunnel. What if it opens up into a cavern like we were just in?
Why don't we take it slow, and then we'll just kind of see how it goes. How about that?
I'm with you there, yeah. Or at least Prescott concedes to you as the smarter person in this scenario.
As a note, Mavis has started with rations for 5 days, not 10.
Oh,
And you have a lot of NPCs in the party that didn't have food on them.
so yeah, slow.
Is
Okay,
that
so then
5 for one person or for everyone?
no, one person.
No, for
Really.
himself. Rations are for one person. I guess you could probably. It's a ration for a whole rations for a whole day, so you could split it, but you're getting into not enough food.
If you split it, you run into having to make DC checks for exhaustion, simply because you're running on half food.
Mm-hmm.
Well, this just turned into a survival game.
Let's say,
Pretty much.
let's go the
So,
way
how
of
do
the
we
elephant.
check? How often do we check and see if we're getting any food then? How are we doing this?
I was gonna say, if we're going slow, I mean, we could literally be picking it while we walk. Like we could be harvesting while we're continuing, so we don't have to
Yeah,
stop.
Yeah, but
basically.
I might have figured out how to walk and read.
So a character needs 1 pound of food per day and can make food last longer by subsisting on half rations.
Is 1 pound for like an average size though? Because like Topsy Turvy are gnomes, but then I'm also much bigger.
It
Yeah, Tache
just
6'5".
it just specifies 1 pound of food a day. It
Frankly,
And
you
doesn't
that's
both make up the
specify
difference
whether
there.
you're large or small.
Okay, because that doesn't make any sense, but okay.
You can go by with half food. It counts as half a day without food. Um, you can go for 3 days plus your constitution modifier, without food.
So if we run across no food, we can push it a little.
If you go past that, every single day counts as a level of exhaustion, and you can die from exhaustion. If you a normal day of eating, so eating a pound of food, will reset the day count.
Eating a full amount will reset it.
Yes.
So I'm sorry.
As far as I can see, half a day will still work. So most of you have food that you can make last 20 days.
Well, I definitely want to scavenge, and I mean to make sure everybody has full days worth. Because I mean, we may be here a while, and if we get waylaid on the way here, or we get some kind of like misadventure, we may be more than 20 days.
We need
So-
food.
Yeah.
Um,
I'd also like to see if we can stumble on the world's largest dungeon. I mean, I don't know. Who knows?
no, please, no. Not down here. This sounds awful.
We're already in it.
On the surface, as I was traveling from city to city, I often gathered food. I also gathered food in the home that I was living in, so we can certainly look and gather things that we have. I can purify it if necessary. Should be able to at least get to Shushar's village.
And Prescott hearing this as if he's just had an epiphany. Oh yeah, a forest lady can forage.
Very well.
So if we're all in agreement, I say we take the slow and steady route while we scavenge for food, and then that way, well, I was going to say that way, Crystal Fist and myself can be in the front. We could be looking out for traps and or, you know, issues in the front.
I also want to talk to Stool and let him know, kind of just as a friend, what's going on. And I just actually ask him outright, like how many times he can make the telepathic juice happen. Because if it's not that often, I kind of want to spread it for when we need it.
Um, Stool isn't sure of an exact number per day. He knows that he can do this spore ability that allows others to speak with him at least about 3 times a day, as far as he's aware. He can shoot out spores more than that, but as far as this specific, he calls it melding,
Wait, so we
is
can
only
ink somebody and
possible
run away?
is only possible 3 times a day.
But she can shoot spores, so we can literally ink someone and run away.
You know,
Well,
the fact that we can communicate telepathically using these spores is going to be very beneficial. Um,
it was 10 minutes at a
stealth and
time, wasn't
vibe,
it?
An hour.
since there's so many of
An
us.
hour? Okay, so 3 hours a day. There you go.
And while we're walking at some point, I want to have a little conversation with Shushar. Whenever that's appropriate.
Hold your knife out.
Right at the moment, I'm not gonna put the task of foraging on any specific person as far as the order is, because any of you can be traveling at your slow pace and try and gather mushrooms as you go.
And I asked Stool to point out the good ones as well.
In your
Point out the
traveling, you
best
see
spores.
in your travel you do see quite a few different um, mushrooms.
Well, I
If
would.
we if we're unsure about whether they're safe or not to eat, I would ask Shusha or Majima, friends are around here, if they know if these are safe or not. And if we're just not sure, then I can purify it.
I also figured, ask the mushroom about which mushrooms are good to eat. Oh, wait, never mind. That might actually give him nightmares.
Don't do that. That's terrible.
I take that back.
Yeah, that might be not so nice.
Hey, Stool, which of your kind can we eat? Please tell me.
But
well,
yeah, I guess
considering the things you've already done with Stool,
Another thing to take into account is water.
Which is not the same as beer.
No, I already have a full canteen of that. The Drow supply.
You stole their beer?
I stole their liquor, yes, from the table. That was my goal while you guys were upstairs fucking with shit.
Of
So
course you did.
how do you suggest that we track it? Shall we go like day 1 we use this, day 2 we use that, or how do you want us to track so that we know what we have to do?
Well, all of you have just the one water skin.
I'm gonna add that to my thing there.
How often can you purify toasted, roasted?
I can do 2 spells before I need a rest. Do I gain spells after a long rest or short rest? Long rest, right?
You should be long rest.
A thing to keep in mind
Yes.
is that purified food and drink is a ritual. So if you take 10 minutes to do it instead of one action, you can do it as many times per day as you want.
That sounds like a great idea.
Okay, so I can do it as a ritual. Okay.
And how much can you do at once?
I can
There we
a
go.
5-foot radius sphere centered on a point of your choice within range is purified and rendered free of poison and disease.
So if we find like a small pool of water, you could purify it and we just all take from that.
That's a good idea.
That is one option. Another option is to fill your items with water and stick them in a 5-foot radius and then purify that radius.
Well, no, but I guess it doesn't really matter. No, yes, like if we find a bunch of
That
food
makes
or
more
whatever,
sense.
like pile it all together, purify that. But if you find a pool of water, purify that, and then everyone in our party, including the NPCs, can drink from it.
Well, that's assuming that the pool is only
And we
within the
could,
radius of that spell. Otherwise, anything that's
well,
not so
right,
good in
yeah,
that water is just going to be mixed right back in the moment the effect is ended.
yeah.
So
If it's really big, I
you
should have
you
kept the.
wouldn't want to cast that on a small underground lake or something.
Did I happen to? Great. Did I happen to keep the chest that I could fill with water? Maybe.
That's up to you. Did you keep the really heavy chest?
How heavy was it?
Besides, something tells me it wouldn't, be very watertight, depending.
Well, I mean, shut up.
Chests
Not to
are
mention,
generally qualified as 25 pounds and are not generally waterproofed.
that even if it was, and taking a 25-pound chest and filling it with another 25 pounds of water, whatever happens.
I can lift a lot, thank you very much.
That's true. That is very
He
true.
carried all of our equipment, man. He's like
I
Superman.
carried like 500 pounds of shit.
I also now do have one bottle of mysterious drow liquor in my inventory.
Is that what you named it?
Yes, I said unidentified drow liquor, essentially. Because I didn't know what it was. All I knew was it was alcoholic.
Please tell me he took the poison.
I did go ahead and increase that to 2 just now because that's more realistic for the people that you were dealing with.
That's true. There were 2 of them there.
There was 3.
Oh, there was 3? Okay. Well, I'm going to assume I already drank a portion of that, so.
Yeah, I don't know how I could swing it. Reading a book, carrying a chest, and well, fuck it. I guess I have 3 appendages. I guess I could. I don't know.
So
Is it possible to carry stool, read my book, and a chest at the same goddamn time? An empty chest, mind you.
I mean, with your trunk, you essentially have 3 hands. For
Then
simple things like that, at least.
So if you want
then
to
I
keep the
didn't.
trunk in your trunk, then hey.
No, I got to keep stool with my trunk. That's how I'm able to lift him. So literally, I've held my trunk up, and he's just been sitting, riding on it.
Just keep in mind that this counts as all of your hands being occupied. So you don't have weapons equipped, you can't cast spells that have a somatic requirement.
Oh. Hey, Topsy Turvy, you want to carry a chest together?
They look at you and are very confused.
I know I've literally never said anything to you before, but you want to carry a chest? It might come in handy. Worst
I'll
case
be happy to
scenario.
carry it.
Well, I was gonna say, worst case scenario, we can shove one of them in it and keep them alive. But
Wait, what? Why
nothing.
would we shove them in there?
Nothing. No reason.
That's ridiculous. You're not going to shove them in there. Look, I can carry your trunk, but the trunk. But then I have to put my shield down.
Ho ho ho
You
If it
mean
means
ho.
that
you
much to
mean
you, I will be happy to.
you mean the chest, or are you coming on to me?
No, I was referring to the chest.
I know that was the joke.
She does not get it.
Oh, okay.
She literally has been a hermit for like 30 years.
It's a bad joke. Don't worry about it.
Hey, fuck you! Don't shake your head. Yes.
Why, thank you. Accurate.
You two are teaching our 2 new friends very bad habits about me, and I don't appreciate this.
No, he's a great guy. Don't worry about it. We just like to
Can
bust his
Tungdil
balls
carry
constantly.
it? Can
Tungdil's
Tungdil
where
carry it?
Tungdil has his great axe in his hand at all times when not using a bottle of liquor.
I'll open it and put it on his head and just have him hold his hand out, and we'll just have Topsy and Turvy lead him as we go with the chest on his head.
Hell
Well,
no.
can't you carry the great axe with one hand and drag the trunk with the other and just
Yeah, that is. Yeah,
release
that
the
doesn't mean.
trunk and
Yeah,
you can battle
that
with
doesn't
two
mean
hands?
you're.
No.
Yeah.
No.
No, because that doesn't mean you can carry it with one hand. You're not gonna fight with it in one hand.
No.
At this point, the dwarf in your party pipes up and says, "If it makes things easier, I can carry it for you."
Yay! I like this dwarf better than the dwarf that I'm supposed to like.
So, quick question, guys. So if the trunk is if the chest is empty, then what is all the stuff in our party sheet? Because we still haven't distributed that yet, and we probably need to do that.
Well, I was figuring part loot in the chest, but also if we need to purify something that we need to contain, a chest would be a good way to do so.
So, are you referring to it more as like a walking jail cell, or are we talking about like?
Well, again,
No,
it's not.
no, I was
so
joking about shoving Topsy and Turvy into it. I mean, like being able to purify anything that we kind of need to contain.
Fair enough. Well, we can always just pile it up.
All at once.
We could just throw it in a pile too.
Yeah, but I mean, I'm pretty sure there are ways to make the chests more watertight, more airtight. I mean, I don't even wear armor, so I have a whole apparently leather armor set that I could probably figure out what to do with.
You have a feeling that between you and Thulwar, you can probably come up with something, especially given that that leather armor is basically useless for you.
I'd rather be able to have a watertight vessel with us where water and rationing is a problem.
Okay. So we do need to distribute the stuff then that was in the trunk.
That or leave it behind.
All right, let's distribute it, guys.
We're just now getting there? I thought we fucking left already.
It's something that was realized that this chest has stuff in it.
I handed it to a random stranger. Here, you carry this. And he went, excuse me.
Picked it.
Oh,
He
by
picked it
the
up and
way,
went.
that I
"Ba-dum."
can't carry all of this.
I just handed him 600 pounds. Thunk to the ground.
Who can use a hand crossbow?
The drow. So actually, I was gonna
Goldbar?
say, can we give that because the NPCs probably don't have any weapons. It might not be a bad idea to give like that other drow character a hand crossbow because he could use it.
Yes. We have 2 hand crossbows and 60 bolts, and then I have a poisoned bolt.
I could actually, I use a crossbow. I use a light crossbow. Hand crossbow might be easier for me to manage with a book.
As
Can you
far
use one with your size?
That's a proficiency, I believe. You have to have a proficiency for the hand crossbow, don't you?
Oh shit, is it specific?
hand crossbow, I believe, is a martial weapon.
Oh, the light crossbow, isn't that?
Light
Oh, I can
bow,
only do simple. Fuck.
light crossbow is simple.
Okay, well, I still think a hand crossbow is a good idea eventually.
Golvar, could he use it?
As you're asking this, you realize that everyone kind of took their time to get out of the armory for the most part. Besides Tungdil, who just kind of jumped out of the first story window after stealing some booze.
Whee!
Yeah, we should probably make sure that our NPCs are, armed.
Looking around, kind of like how you guys got your inventory back, they seem to have gotten their stuff back as well.
Okay, cool.
Cool.
So it's mostly, this is kind of the stuff that was left over between everybody's rolls.
I think we should look here and take what we need and leave the.
Well,
There's studded leather here.
So is this party inventory? I'm confused then, because this party inventory parcel items. Okay, never mind. We're looking at the parcel items.
Yes.
Yep.
Yes.
Okay. Okay.
Party inventory is a breakdown of what everybody has.
Well, I actually do use legitimately a crossbow, a light crossbow. I have it strapped to me.
Okay, well there's 60 crossbow bolts here.
And
And
cases.
and I want to give you the poison crossbow bolt. I mean, if we run into something particularly nasty, that might be helpful.
Not to literally take everything. I also have the biggest or the most pulling and pushing capacity. So the rope it's silk. Does its material, does that change its tensile strength?
As far as rope goes, it's usually the weight, not so much how much it can hold.
Also, I dragged the icon. I was like, "Ooh, this is awesome!" I dragged it from the parcel out. I literally dragged one crossbow bolt.
Yeah, the bolts are in
Yes.
ones, so you have to drag them one at a time if you want them. So I was
If
actually
you
going to
do it-
say,
If you do it that way, then yes.
I just put the hand crossbow bolt coated with poison into the parcel item so that you could grab it. And I'm gonna grab one of the silk ropes.
Oh, I don't have a hand crossbow. I just have a crossbow.
You should have
So
a
a
light
hand
crossbow.
so a hand crossbow bolt is not the same
I
as a
would
hand
presume.
crossbow.
The crossbow
okay.
bolts in general are pretty much all the same size. It's just a matter of what it's being shot out of.
Oh, I would have presumed that the hand crossbow bolts were much smaller. That is a much smaller item versus light and heavy crossbows.
It's still the same size of bolt as far as D&D is concerned.
Okay,
Good.
again,
Take
dumb,
it.
but I know DM's discretion. I'll take it. She said, "Yay."
It's mostly a matter of how much skill it takes to be able to shoot the crossbow rather than how big the specific crossbow bolts are.
Okay, I just edited my crossbow bolts to be 80, so take the 59 out of there.
Oh,
Delete it. Delete it.
I was gonna say, can I grab a couple of those crossbow bolts? I've got 20 right now, but I wouldn't mind an extra, like
Oh,
10.
sure. Yeah. Yeah. Go for it. I'll minus out 70 then.
Is there anyone who is wearing leather armor who would be interested in going to studded leather?
And to be all fair, and to be all fairness too, I probably won't be firing it that much. It's just besides daggers, my only real weapon.
Well, why don't you? I mean, I was gonna. Excuse me. I was gonna say. For me, I was gonna take an extra. I took a case so far. I did take one of the silk ropes because that's 100 feet compared to 50.
Yeah.
Um,
Well, here, take 20. So be at 40 crossbow bolts. I'll be at 60.
okay.
At this point, Mavis would pipe in and ask if there's any of you who would need the studded leather specifically.
Oh yeah,
Well,
sorry to ignore you.
Oh, it's fine. No, let him have the studded leather for sure.
Mavis has regular leather, but not the studded, and it would actually benefit him.
yeah. So, you think Crystal Fist would use the caltrips more, since he's the roguish type that we have?
Also, I see the paladin's using a greatsword rather than a shield. Shame.
Yeah.
Nah, I'm just fucking around.
Basically, and your fucking point.
There is
Yeah.
no point.
I mean, it technically, actually, it looks like I've got a shield equipped. I need to put that to carried. That's going to take my AC down to 15. How sad. Oh well, but that's still fine. I like having a great sword.
So, as a case of a crossbow bolt case, is that just so that your crossbows aren't or your bolts aren't just like everywhere? They're not. It's not needed, but it's handy.
I'm not the sort of DM that would require a crossbow bolt case per 20 crossbows, but it makes it more conveniently contained than just putting them in your bag.
So then, do I have 2 crossbow bolts cases and 20 bolts, or 60 bolts in 2 cases?
It's essentially 60 bolts in 2 cases. It's just that those bolts are 40 of those bolts are in the cases. If you want to have started with one, I'm okay with that. So that everything's in its own little case.
I was just thinking weight, but okay, yeah.
Otherwise, it's really up to you.
So who can use chain shirts? Because we got 2 chain shirts. Which is, I mean, I've already got one, so I don't need one.
Chain shirt is medium armor.
Can anybody in our party use medium armor?
I'm set armor wise. What about the spikes and the caltrops? Can we give those to our artificer?
Crystal Fist.
Yeah, just throw it in his inventory. Here.
Okay.
You know what? Do you do any penalties for two-handed wielding? Like two-weapon wielding?
The biggest really is just that you can't equip a shield.
Well, I meant like if I grabbed another hand crossbow and was like going all...
Because greatswords are considered two weapons, or two-handed, I believe. Yes, they are two-handed, so you can't equip another weapon.
You could
I
only
know,
do.
but I mean, like if I put my sword, like if I had sheathed my sword on my back and I had like two hand crossbows, I could use both of them. Yes, in a turn, one for an action, one for a bonus action. Yes, no.
You can still do that if you're swapping out in combat. I would say you could swap out and use one of the hand crossbows that first turn,
Mm-hmm.
but not the second one, and then be able to use both the next turn.
Cool. Well then, if it's all right with you guys, I will take another hand crossbow.
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't think you can fire them. You can't fire one after the other in the same turn unless you have that feat, basically.
I would consider it. It's not quite the use of your bonus action, but it's kind of a changing weapon slot in your normal actions. Like if you used one of your smite spells when you get them, then I wouldn't count swapping out from your crossbows to your greatsword, so you could actually equip that attack more or less, as you could do your smite, swap weapons to your greatsword, and attack in the same turn.
Cool. Okay. Well. All right. Well then, I'll just
For
keep two and.
For that ranged attack with your hand crossbow, I wouldn't give you both of the attacks for a turn that you swap from your greatsword to your hand crossbows, but you'd still get one of them.
Cool. Okay. So, I mean,
There's
that's
still a
fine.
benefit to be had.
Yeah. So, as long as you guys are cool with that, I went ahead and grabbed it. I can always take it back if I need to. But yeah, I say, Ken.
Well, I can't even equip a hand crossbow. In the long run, that might make more sense thematically for my character because a book in one hand and a hand crossbow in another. But I mean, until that point, yeah.
Can Mavis use a hand crossbow?
Who cares? Not here.
I'm just saying, like for future use, it might be worth having the bard having a ranged weapon.
Take it as a someone who played a bard and liked to run up at everything. Yeah.
Mavis does have specifically a hand crossbow proficiency.
Then yeah, if he doesn't have one, even if he does, let's give him two.
Yeah, give him the hand crossbow. So that's 3 other things gone. The caltrops and the iron spikes were for oh, I see. So we still have another set of 10 iron spikes.
I haven't given those to Thulwar yet.
Okay, well I think we're done. I think the rest of the chain shirt and the dagger and the shield. I grabbed an extra dagger. Is there all the people in the party, if they all have weapons? If not, we'll throw them a dagger.
A dagger and a shield.
I believe everyone has weapons except for Stool, who can't hold weapons.
But I'm holding him, so close enough.
I mean,
you have a feeling that his only attack is basically to headbutt someone.
He's a fucking Pokemon. Stool, use headbutt.
A ramming speed.
Um,
I'll throw him. I'll have him use headbutt, and I'll just chunk him with my trunk. Gunk.
as is, Chain Shirt would actually not benefit Thulwar, because Thulwar has a dex of 18, so has a +4. And that would make his AC 15, whereas with his studded leather, it's 16.
Can I wrap Stool in it?
Yeah, we could put a chain shirt on. He might not like that.
Well, just tell him it's his new best friend. It's gonna make him warm and hug him all the time.
Are you gonna try it?
I am now.
Well, isn't he like a rock? Does he really need?
No, he's a mushroom.
Oh, he's a shroom. Never mind. He looks like a rock. That's why I'm like, huh?
It's one of the. It's an elusive rock mushroom.
Yes.
It would look pretty funny, but you assume that you could probably fit it on him. He doesn't have arms to keep it up.
He doesn't have a mouth. He doesn't have legs. He doesn't really have any way to protest. So.
But with who is it? With Thulwar's help, you can probably rig up something that will keep a chain shirt on the tiny mushroom. Well, small mushroom.
Hey, little buddy. I have a. This is your new friend. Stool, meet Cheney. Cheney, Stool. We're gonna make Cheney fit you better in the future, but for now, just keep him on. You're gonna still be with me, and this guy's gonna protect you. He's your new best friend.
Oh,
Stool doesn't shoot out his spores at this point, but you have a feeling that he's weirdly thankful.
Wait, yeah, that actually calls into question: can he shoot spores with this thing on?
You don't know.
All right. I gimped our magic mushroom. All right.
Good job. I knew you had it in you all along. I believed.
Pimp your stool.
As far as chain shirts go, Mavis would not benefit either with a chain shirt on because he doesn't have proficiency with medium armor. He would not be able to cast any spells.
I heard you liked stools in your stools, so I put a stool in your stool so you could stool. Great.
As a note, Mavis has the hand crossbow, but has no ammo for it.
okay. Let me give him 10 of mine. So I'll be down to 30 crossbow bolts.
I'll give him 10 and the case. We took everything and then was like, here, Mavis, use this. It's not a crossbow. You bash people with it.
Well, I'll go ahead and take a dagger so that way I can like use it to cut up mushrooms.
Mavis took a second dagger as well.
Sweet. So what are we doing with the rest of the stuff, guys?
I think we should leave it here.
I'll take it so I can give it to slaves to free themselves.
That's an excellent idea.
Prescott agrees.
So since we're just going through this, does this mean we haven't begun our travels yet?
This is kind of a backtracking moment. It's assumed that you guys have been on your way at least for a little bit. Do we want to equally split up the gold as well?
10-4. Sounds good to me.
That's 2 yeses.
Oh,
Whatever.
absolutely.
Okay.
So hold on. I didn't say yes. First of all, I said we had to prequel ourselves for 20 minutes there, and then I said yes, except to not the people who are here. So they don't get a say. We get all the gold. including Stool. He gets a pittance because Stool is my buddy.
Kind of got distributed already. I say we just leave it like it is.
Not that I know what the fuck a mushroom would use with money, but
Stool received 1 of your gold.
I'll give him 1 of mine as well.
I'll wait and see. If he needs gold, I'll help Stool out. But like until I know that Stool can actually use gold, I'll hang on to mine.
Where does Stool keep his gold?
Tucked inside of the chain shirt that fits him magically.
Yes, this is why I gave him a shirt. No, I'll just hold on to all of Stool's effects. So if Stool gains anything, it's just I'll hold on to all of it.
Did we have
You're so
2 chain
sweet.
shirts or 3 chain shirts in the party seat?
There were 2 originally.
Okay, let me change mine to 2 on here because I took 2, but one's actually on Stool, so
One's just hanging off of Stool.
It like keeps slipping off. You keep having to slip it back on.
I'll just hope it helps protect him.
You don't know as of yet.
We'll find out. I just figured, an elephant holding something out in front of him might be a target.
Oh yeah, he's gonna take something to the face, and then no more lovely telepathy for you.
I'd rather protect that little buddy instead of you. So
Oh, I'm fine with this.
So for this first day of travel, who would like to forage?
I
I'll
think we
forage.
all should. Or do you just want one person to roll?
what check would that be?
Considering it's food and water, 2 of you, and it would be a survival check.
Okay, I got +2.
I've only got a +1.
I have a +2 as well.
Alright,
Is,
it's you and me.
is anybody proficient in it? In our party?
I'm
No, I'm
not.
religion, investigation, history, and arcana.
What about like Mavis or
Neither
Crystal
Mavis
Fist?
or Thulwar are proficient in survival. So which one of you are looking for food, and which of you is water?
I will look for water, since I
Okay.
can identify that better than mushrooms.
Okay. Then I'm looking for food.
To be fair, Prescott is not of this world. So food's very different. Water, pretty similar, all things considered.
Let's see. Prescott, you do manage to find small pools and very small streams along this first bit of the travel. It's enough to keep your group in water for this first day.
Assuming the water is safe.
You uh, you can make a nature check to see if you can spot anything weird with the water. As far as you're aware, it's safe, but you also happen to know that you have someone in the party that can make sure it's at least not full of poison or disease.
Yeah, so let's gather up our things, and then when we're ready to eat, we'll just put it all together to fit inside that 10-foot cube, and then we'll certainly take care of it.
And this is exactly why I brought the chest.
Okay.
There's a lot of rolling going on there.
Just figuring out days. It's okay.
Someone had a kid, you got lost and turned around. You have now been set back 12 days.
I was going to say, watch one of the streams be like an ooze. We just put
Can
ooze
I
in our...
can I have a little chat with Shushar?
Sure.
So Tasha is going to go up to Shushar and she's going to ask him, how long have you been away from your people?
It has been a very long time. I withdrew from my people seeing their madness.
I am not familiar with your kind, but I have heard some people say that they have seen you very calm when that is not typical. And I was wondering why. You said you left them to get away from the madness?
Many people consider my species, my people, as mad, as even for Underdark, very unusual. I left in I left in hope of finding something more.
What did you find?
Madness is not the only way of life.
I too am different from most of my people, and I withdrew from them as well for a very long time. In fact, it was from that withdrawing and what I learned, it's the reason why I'm here now.
Hearing a lot of this, Prescott kind of just perks up his ears as he's gathering water and stops to take notes and jots down what they're saying.
It is my hope that upon returning to my home, I can share this knowledge with the rest of my people.
How do you think they will receive you?
He kind of pauses for a moment and thinks it seems really seriously about the question. And he eventually says, I do not know, but I will take as long as necessary to share my calmness with my people.
That is one of the benefits of being alone for a long time, spending time away and in meditation. Good luck.
So, do I overhear this conversation at all?
Yeah, I'm not whispering or anything.
All right. Well, I would just look back at Shushar and be like, I would be careful. Your people may go ahead and murder you for trying to teach the ways of peace, but it is a noble cause. I wish you the best of luck.
Hearing all this, Prescott also just throws out social constructs and looks at Shushar. Sickness, illness. What illness? I must know of everything of this world. And is quickly jotting down notes and being very attentive.
I do not know where my people's madness comes from. It is something known to many of the Underdark.
Knowing enough to learn that Majima, correct, is a part of the Underdark. I look and go, you must tell me too. I must learn.
Learn
Everything, my good sir, everything, and I must be expeditious in this quest of knowledge.
So Tasha's gonna go up to Prescott. Well, I've spent 20 years reading books and doing studies. She's going to put her arm around him and kind of pat him on the back and say, let me tell you about some things that I have learned. And
And
just
I can
start
tell you
walking ahead.
And I can tell you about floating balls of lightning, and gates to other worlds, and short little women who have rifles that shoot people.
That's amazing. Tell me more.
A rifle!
So she's
And we
ushering him
trail.
forward while we're talking, right?
And as we're trailing off, everyone can hear, a rifle is a big, loaded barrel.
Tell me more about balls and rifles.
I'm beginning to understand your fixation with weapons.
Balls and rifles, you ask.
I'm pretty sure the dwarf's pretty knowledgeable about like black powder rifles. So
Well, black
yeah.
powder, I mean, and forgive me, Underdark is still a part of Forgotten Realms. I mean, I forgot of that, like that aspect and area. So while technically here very infantile, so I would be surprised if it was still common knowledge for guns.
I mean, I think black powder and everything is pretty common for this. I mean, granted,
For
Jade,
cannons.
you know, correct me if I'm wrong.
And to be fair, I am basing my knowledge on my last game where my Catman was a gunslinger and it was extremely uncommon.
I don't think it's common, but I think it's known. Like,
For the Underdark, it would be a little bit trickier. It's well known in the fact that you probably shouldn't use it in the Underdark. It's
And
very loud, and there's a lot of very dangerous things out there.
And Tasha's also lived alone for how long, too? So Prescott is very eager to teach her about quite a bit that she doesn't know.
Yeah, I'm gonna rifle away the whole idea about the whole guns and things and
But,
bring that up later. As you're telling her this.
pun intended, you're going to rifle it away?
Yeah, that was totally Freudian.
Quit rifling through things.
So does
All
this
right,
mean
look,
one
you
day?
fuckers.
Oh! Okay, no more pun off.
So
Do we need to deduct rations since we found food and water?
for this first day, you found water, but not food.
Well, that's a noof right there.
Should we deduct one ration from our day?
Does Stool need to eat? Can he eat?
Yeah, I was wondering about that too.
Stool needs water, but he's fine without food.
Okay. This might be too much of an omniscient question, but who here did I like the most and or liked me the most? Because I'll share my half ration with them. Who doesn't have it?
Besides
I'm not quite
Stool,
sure what the question is there.
You're talking about the NPCs, right?
Yes, I want to know who likes me.
No
They're gonna pass
one.
notes. They're gonna pass notes. Does Shushar eat? Like while we're eating, I look over to see if he's actually eating.
Shushar does eat. Pretty much everyone does. beside Stool. Stool very happily stands in some of the water and drinks it through his feet.
Awesome.
Okay, that's one down.
So let's see.
And sorry for the silence. Was grabbing her and I food again.
It's fine.
It's all
She
good.
needs time to pull stuff up too.
There are currently 14 in the party, 13 of which eat.
A good thing to note. That's half a ration we don't have to use.
So I would say everyone subtract 1 ration from their total.
Well, in the law of odds, someone would technically be left with half. You gave us a 13, not 14.
You have 6 party members and 13 people that eat. And you notice that, as far as you can tell, Topsy and Turvy only eat half of a ration. So they share their half.
Eat a quarter? Okay.
They each get a half, right?
They each get a quarter.
I think we're all eating 1 ration, right?
Are you eating 1 full per person, or are you eating half per person?
Probably half, I think.
We're eating half.
I
Okay.
am personally splitting.
So they're sharing a half then, I suppose.
I will give Topsy and Turvy very specifically my half. If it matters. Which it probably doesn't.
You aren't sure what's going on there, but they do specifically only take 1 person's half and split it between the 2 of them. Which would make it the 6 player characters taking 1 full ration out per day.
Yeah, that evens it up.
So we're not going to make it at slow at this rate, even scavenging, foraging.
Well, if we're not finding anything, no.
So
we will definitely find food as we go. We can
We
always
better.
speed up toward the end if we need to.
I also just now realized I subtracted my case and my crossbow bolts. Did you? Space, did you also subtract your bolts and?
Oh yeah. I took care of the
Okay.
inventory ASAP.
Then
If I don't do it right away. Oh, did I add the what?
No, not you. I was asking Christina if she added them to the synth or for Zarin. I don't remember who we gave them to.
We gave him to Synth. His
Yes.
character.
Okay, so I subtracted, just making sure.
So I'm assuming that is our meal happening at the end of the day where we're ready to crash for the night?
Yes. At least I'm
So
assuming.
Okay, so Tashe will be going over kind of, I guess she'll out of the way a little bit, but not too far. She's gonna stay within eyeshot of everybody. She can cast light too, and then she will meditate.
Not realizing what meditation is, Prescott just stays near you and just keeps telling you about rifles and guns and other things from his world.
Well, I can do dancing light for you guys if you need me to. So
I have prestidigitation as well. However you say that.
Which doesn't help with light levels.
Shh! I realized that after I said it. Shut up.
I cast light on the ground, near me, so that there is some light, and I'm just sort of crouched down, and my hands on my knees, and eyes closed, and shoulders down.
Does anyone have the material for a campfire, a small campfire?
well, I mean, you could technically use dried pieces of, you know, um, dung.
Don't. I was gonna say, don't say shelf or not shelf. Chest.
Nope. Yeah, you could technically use dried out dung. I mean, that's what they did out in the Midwest and the prairie.
That's true. I do that, and then I can use prestidigitation. So fuck you. I know how my spells work.
But it's gonna smell awful.
Unless you're stopping Prescott, he's doing it.
As tempting as that would be, don't care.
Tache, as a note, at this point, because it is during a long rest, if you wanted to swap out your first level spells, you can. With the
Oh,
knowledge
okay.
that you have your holy symbol again. So if there's a material component on a spell that you thought about taking but couldn't yet, you can swap that out now.
Okay.
Cantrips are still going to be the same, but you can swap out your level 1 spells per day.
Okay, great. Thanks. I'm gonna do that now.
So we're stopping for the evening, right?
In game, yes.
Okay. I'll go ahead and since I'm taking first watch, I'm gonna get away from the campfire and stuff, so that way it doesn't affect my night vision or my dark vision. Sorry, and I am going to post up and just kind of be waiting and ready. Probably have both the hand crossbows out. That way, if I see anything move in the darkness, I'm just gonna go ahead and pop it. Especially if it's like a rodent or something that we could eat.
Prescott cuddles with stool.
So this area is definitely very dark. There is no light source of any kind besides what you guys have provided for yourselves.
I was gonna say, wait a minute.
Did you need me to roll anything, Jade?
And don't forget Mavis for his 4 hours.
Go ahead and roll a perception check for me, please.
And by the way, yes, the spiced rum and sugar-free Rockstar do go well together.
Cool. And it has been rolled in the tower, ma'am.
I am not surprised by this.
What, the tower or the Rockstar?
The Rockstar. Although, I mean, you're drinking Rockstar rather than the good stuff. But hey, I'm not going to judge.
Rockstar is the good
Much.
stuff, unless I'm making it.
You aren't the most attentive tonight. You're still a little bit confused over the situation. It hasn't been that long since you were a prisoner, and now you are at least sort of responsible for a very large group of people in the Underdark. However, the night your watch still passes with nothing of note. It's very quiet in this area.
That he knows of, or for sure? Because like I'm just waiting for the Underdark to fuck us somehow, even immediately.
Well, it is the Underdark, so
exactly.
You know.
Yeah, I must have rolled really bad. Okay, sounds good. Well, I guess I'll wake up Mavis, tell him it's time for his watch after my 4 hours are up, and then I'll go into my meditative trance.
And yeah, sorry to cut again, but why don't you roll up front?
What do you mean?
Why do you roll on the dice tower?
Oh, that's just every game I've ever played. When the DM asks for a roll like that, they always ask for it in the dice tower, so I just automatically do it in the dice tower.
That's odd. I don't
You've
get
never
that
done it.
philosophy. Yeah, I don't get the philosophy, but we'll talk about
It's
it
one of
later.
those things where it's like, oh wow, he got a this. Nice, good job, kind of deal.
Well,
Yeah.
it also
But RP wise, yeah.
it gives the GM the ability to, like, if it was like a role that, like,
You
she
done
wanted to
fucked
take the
up.
story. Yeah, she
That's
wanted to take the
true.
story in a different direction. It's not like I'm forcing her hand in any way, shape, or form. She can do what she wants with it. So
You'd be surprised. She's come up with
Yes.
some extremely inventive. Wow, you guys rolled the 5. Well, you're not completely dead.
But
But that makes a lot of sense.
but I mean, is that cool with you, Jade? Are you all right with that? Like the way I've been doing it, rolling in the tower
Oh,
and stuff, or
she hasn't said anything that I know of. I was just personally curious.
oh, I
Uh, my philosophy is more of roll it how you want to. Just because it's out in the public doesn't mean that I'm gonna let someone else roll for the same thing. So whether you know what the roll was or not, um, doesn't really end up affecting the story as far as what I do with that roll.
that's cool. So as long as you're cool with it, I'm just gonna keep rolling in the tower for consistency's sake. So
Like I said, do it how you want. You're used to rolling it that way. I'm fine with it.
I wasn't also trying to call you out. I was actually just curious.
oh no worries.
Mhm.
It's how I've played a lot of the games, and especially when it's RP heavy and stuff, they prefer it that way. So at least the GMs I've dealt with. So
I wouldn't even know whether to consider this RP heavy or not.
For me personally, I did start with in-person games, so the mystery of the dice roll doesn't affect the story as far as you knowing what you rolled or not. Like in this case, you happened to roll a 5. Your total was 8, but the um, story was more or less already kind of set in terms of the purpose of the roll.
She wasn't trying to kill us yet.
okay, well, no worries.
So it is Mavis's turn at watch.
While she gets that ready, speaking from experience, yes, she does try to kill us.
Well, considering that we had 2 characters die in the very first section,
Yeah, post-traumatic stress disorder.
yes, that poor cat man was never the same.
I watched all my friends die. Meow.
And I didn't get a chance to steal their shit.
And I tried.
It is true, you did try.
I tried a lot of things, sneaking around and ringing the bell to fuck with all the villagers for like them coming and attack,
Wow. That
trying to
wasn't
steal
trying to.
stuff. I tried to steal something from everyone, every
Yep,
room we went
you did.
into.
I digress. What else are we doing now?
So it's Mavis's turn at watch. For the second half of what you think is the night,
Our night.
um, Everything seems to pass smoothly as well. He doesn't have to wake anyone up about anything that happens. The next couple of days kind of pass in the same way. So we have, what was it, Prescott and Taché were the ones that last did the rolls for food and water. Do you want to keep it that way?
Well, before you roll for the food and water, I tell them to let's all get our water skins and put them here, because I have a spell with the water that we have, the little bit that I have, I can create 10 gallons. So that will take that. So can we use our rolls both for food, since I can create the water?
Well, why the hell do I have a chest then? That's new.
I can take up my spells as a long rest.
Technically, I was questioning your chest thing from the beginning, but
Well, and then Prescott literally, was how? How could you? That wasn't the case yesterday. Why did I bring this whole damn chest with me?
I'm so sorry.
Because you're a few peanuts short of a full stack.
Shh.
So, so we can roll for food. Should both of us roll for food, or just want one of us to roll for food?
Well, considering you can magically make water now, yeah.
It's up to you. I'm gonna let two of the party roll either way. Whether you want to use that both individually or have one of you have advantage.
For now, I'll just roll 2.
You're good at this.
I try. Ignoring the fact that it's all, random.
And go ahead and do it one more time, please, both of you.
Okay. See, not good that time. Don't worry.
So unless anyone has anything that they want to bring up over the next couple of days, the next 2 days kind of pass the same as this first one. One of the days you guys do manage to find, let's see, what was it? You find, make a nature check, anyone in the party that would like to.
Well, with that being that opened, why don't we all?
Yeah.
All right, let me take a look here. If I could click on my guy, that would help. Why can't I click on anything? The fuck? One moment, being weird.
How dare it? Well,
Don't kill the food.
stabbed
I'll be right
a
back.
mushroom.
Don't
Great.
kill the food.
Did I?
You nat 20'd our food.
Did I?
Yes.
All I see is a blank. All I see is the same screen. I can't see nothing right now.
I see a Tungdil Orcbane, attack medium, a javelin, critical hit.
I'm like clicking on the eye and everything, and nothing's happening at all. So I'm about to close out and jump back in.
Great. Silver broke it. And now
Yeah, I broke it.
he's so drunk he's attacking our food.
But I mean, it was such a good roll.
I know. Please tell me
I didn't even see the roll. I saw nothing.
Please tell me he accidentally stabbed someone trying to sneak up on us. Oh, don't tell me he accidentally stabbed one of our NPCs.
What did I get? 20?
26. Yeah, you got a 20 plus 6.
On an
You
attack
critted.
roll? Fuck.
Yeah, you attempted to attack something.
You take that, you wall.
Basically. I'm loading back in.
Also, for anyone keeping track, SGDQ has now crossed 700,000 halfway through the week. So that's insane.
What is that?
Oh?
Summer games done quick.
Oh, that. Yes, yes.
The speed running marathon that they do twice a year for GDQs and then once a year for RPG Limit Break.
Oh yeah.
There you go. I rolled properly this time.
That was on the BBC News. I
I've been
remember reading
watching
about
them
that.
I've been watching them since 2013 or 14.
Oh. What's a noble cause?
Significantly, they usually hit like last year SGDQ hit like 2.2 million by the time that was ended, but halfway they were hitting about 100,000 a day. 700,000 halfway through. That's the average is so much higher than normal. 100,000 a day until like the last day.
How's that, Jade?
That's good.
It's better than me.
Wonder
But
if they
not a
would do
nat.
like
Did you
marathon
want all of
D&D
us to roll
sessions.
that?
Well, it wasn't restricted, so yes.
It's up to you. You can or you don't have to.
They don't do marathons, but I know they do games for charity.
Woo, Tongdill's best.
Wait, are we re-rolling the nature checks?
No.
That's
No,
just
they
the.
just hadn't.
That was just the last two that hadn't yet.
Mhm.
Because Tungdil accidentally attacked it.
Yes, I attacked nature itself, and then I learned very many things about it, apparently. I was carving it off the wall to better analyze it by using nature.
I was going to say, I thought you were going to try to attack the darkness.
Yes, I am attacking the darkness inside of me.
So Tungdil just stabbed himself and critted. So did we just lose our dwarf?
No, it's okay. You didn't die.
You just lost a foot.
So with everybody's between the one survival check that was considered successful and everybody's nature check, you know that the food that you managed to scavenge is a very large grain-like spore off of one of the massive mushrooms in the Underdark.
Did you just say grain-like spore? Did we find wheat mushroom?
That's the way it's described, is a large grain-like spore.
So we can make mushroom bread?
Or mushroom beer.
Mushroom beer!
You managed to find about 16 pounds of this spore.
Jesus.
Um,
And if every pound is effectively a ration,
Majima, between your role and your the fact that you originally came from the Underdark, you know that the mushroom that you guys found is it's named Zerkwood. You know that the spores are edible, obviously, as everybody noticed. It's not any sort of poison or it's safe to eat. But you also know that the stalks of the Zerkwood is the equivalent of wood for the Underdark.
Okay, I will relay that to the group.
Sweet. So we found wood and basically wheat.
We can make bread rations. There you go.
No, I'm gonna I'm gonna go with Space Dandy and say that I'm gonna give you, if we split this up evenly across the party. Oh God, fucking math. We're too shy of splitting it 3 ways. And since we have 2 people who aren't here, we'll just go and say they got the short end of the stick.
Mm.
So I'll give you 2 of mine and say, here you go, buddy.
Well,
Grains to make beer with.
You've got 16 pounds of it, and 4 player characters that are currently here right now.
Well, I mean, 6 total, splitting it fairly, 6, 12, 18, and that's 2 over, so there's 2 missing. That's how I was getting there.
We could probably like stretch it out by turning it into a soup.
A soup, yeah. I mean, smart ways, but I'm still giving him 2 and telling him, this is beer mushroom. You don't fucking touch it unless it's for beer.
Or we're starving.
Yes.
I mean, that's gross as shit roasted.
Hey, I shit you not. That's what it said.
Also, I don't like calling you Roasted and Space Dandy. I wish I knew your names. Silver, I know his name, but he doesn't want me to use it.
No, I don't care actually. But you call me Silver anyway.
My name is Terry.
Yay!
I mean, literally, your name is in your name, so it's kind of like, you know.
Yeah, that's why I did that, because it takes a lot of mystery out of it.
Yeah. Well, I could just call you Sentai all the time. It'd be weird.
Or you could just use character names.
Yes,
Yeah, that's
exactly.
what I do.
That'd be the better thing.
I mean, I guess.
Do it. Do it.
Space, are you Tungdil?
No. Silver.
Silver is Tungdil. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. Space Dandy is Majima,
Got it.
But
everybody just calls me Dandy.
He's the drow guy.
I still want to know your name.
Mike. It is Mike.
Yay! I don't fucking know why I like names. Shut up.
It's a team lead thing.
I mean, I'm bad with names, so I'll forget it in 10 minutes. But I like them.
So I'm imagining at the end of the day when we're ready to eat, we gather up all the wineskins kind of in a pile, and then I take out a little drop and cast my spell, and then the water skins, I'm calling them wineskins, but they all fill up enough for everybody. And then we got all this food, so we can ration that out and feed ourselves. And if we don't have food that's not um, edible, then she will do her ritual and purify that. So I'm hoping that this will sustain us for a while.
Extra double too. I put the chest in there. And then once that fills, I put stool in it.
We made a pool. It's a kid pool.
I mean,
Oh my
if we don't
God.
have any standing or flowing water, he needs to eat too.
I want to know what he does when you put him in the water. That's adorable. Does he like jump up and down?
He splashes a
Does a
little
little
bit.
dance.
Spores start
Oh my
shooting
God!
out.
Does like a little waddling dance going on there, all happy like.
Just
You got-
spinning. He's just
You gotta
spinning.
take his chain shirt off of him, or he might sink, or he might drown.
Well, if it's a little puddle, I don't think it'll be a problem.
He
But...
just soaks up all the water and he expands like he's got like
and he fits it perfectly.
he's a little
There you go.
bloated. He just ate a little too much dinner.
So cute.
I'll be right back.
This is now all canon. This totally happened.
That's right.
I agree with that.
So you guys just bathed the small little mushroom guy.
He went Super Saiyan for a little while there. Oh my God, food!
So Jade, if we turn it into like soups, would we be able to like stretch out our meals that way or no?
I can either use the chest to feed stool, or we can make chest soup.
As far as the nutritional nature of what this food is, it still lasts as long as it normally would, even spread through a soup. So you can make it into a soup to try and preserve how long you can keep it, but as far as its nutritional value, it doesn't change.
And soup might require you to use more water
Well,
if we don't have enough.
apparently we can just make that.
Yeah, but you could get your
Well,
daily
I can
dose
only
of
make 10
water
gallons.
and, food all in the same unit.
Yeah, I was gonna say a pound of soup. Well, yeah, a pound of soup wouldn't be the same if it's the same nutritional. You might need like 2 or 3 pounds of soup versus a pound of spores.
It would make the food itself weigh more because you're adding water to it, but it would count for both water and food for a day.
Interesting.
I also realized I haven't been taking away my rations.
Well, we were only instructed to take away one as far as I know.
Well, we
Yes,
only
which I
You
already
did say a
did.
few days. You did say a few days that we were traveling, so should we take away more?
and
One of those
didn't
days we
find that
found
much
food,
food.
though.
One of those days you found more. It depends on if you're doing half rations or full rations.
Half.
If you're sticking with half rations, that you found 16 pounds of food.
And I gave two of mine to the dwarf for beer, or at least I'll keep it and put it in a little pouch and mark it beer food.
So the for everybody, just in what you found, you would have found, and you're sticking with half rations, that would have been 4 days of food. Because you have the ability to create water, I'm assuming you're doing that at least once a day. That's
Is that ritual?
no.
No, that's a spell.
Thus far, you haven't run into any problems with that.
Yeah, I would think that as long as I have a little bit of water, I can make more. But 10 gallons, that's a lot. That might,
Well, that would
at
run
least we're
out.
not going to go without.
How much do we
I
need
mean,
in a day? I guess.
yeah, so you might have to do it like maybe every other day.
Well, you can still make it a day, but like I was thinking, do we need more? It's not a gallon per person. Is it like half a gallon per person? In which case, we're fine. I mean, if we're gonna be all survivally.
And as far as the time when I'm doing this at the end of the day when we're eating. So just before kind of the long rest. So if we're interrupted in the middle of the night, I guess that would be a spell slot going.
A character needs 1 gallon of water per day.
Okay, so then it's not enough. We would need to
Wow.
still scavenge, unless you're gonna cast it multiple times a day.
And if you are drinking less than a gallon per day, it's considered you a character who drinks only half that much must make a Constitution saving throw or be exhausted.
Oh, so
Um,
unlike food, half does not work.
Right.
I can cast it twice a day if I need to.
Yeah,
Which
why don't
would
you?
suffice.
If you cast it at the end of the day before your long rest, it won't. You know what I'm saying? Like
Absolutely. Yeah,
that'd be the way to do
100%.
it. So we could get 20 gallons of water in the evening.
Which is more than you would need.
16, one for every person, and then 4 into the chest. Because Stool's not normal. I don't know how much he needs. If that's assuming his ration and his water, then 2.
14 for certain, because there's 14 of you total.
Oh, I thought there was 16. Okay, that works.
but that still leaves 16 of that free. Or you could try and gather the 4 rather than use 2 spell slots on it.
And that sounds like nitpicking, but especially if it requires you to take spell slots. If she rolls a random die and we have to get into an encounter and then you have no spell slots, yeah.
Yeah, so if I make 20 gallons and we only need 14 for that day, then
We have carryover.
Yeah, we have carryover. So we can just take how many days we were and figure out how much water we need and divide what I've already created, and that's how much we would see if that would
Yeah,
make
in a 3-day span, instead of casting it 6 times, you would only need to cast it 5 times.
Okay.
Give or take a gallon.
So we have figured out how to survive.
There we go. Well, plus you guys, we now have the wood too, so you guys can either do like firewood at the end of the evenings now, or we can actually cook soup or something, or like
I don't.
we have that ability.
Should we make fires here in the Underdark? And I ask the I would assume that asking the creatures who are native to the Underdark would be appropriate.
Yeah, probably.
Do you normally do fires? Do your people make fires in the Underdark?
If you hide them, I mean, like if you make small, tiny fires and you have it like covered around, so there's not light coming out of it.
If you make a fire and then hide it, what's the benefit? Warmth?
Cooking.
Okay, yeah, sure.
That's the only thing I really care about. I can see in the dark, so it doesn't bother me at all.
Keep in mind that dark vision gives you dim light vision in the dark, not bright light vision in the dark.
So you can't make out discrete shapes and colors.
With superior dark vision at 120 foot?
Superior dark vision gives you the 120 instead of 60 feet.
Okay.
So it's not better for the 60 feet, it's just longer.
Gotcha.
Creatures have disadvantage on wisdom perception checks that rely on sight.
But I can cast light at will. So if we're traveling, we don't have to spend torches. I can just light up my hand or whoever's up front.
And I can keep lighting poop. It's got to go somewhere from every one of us.
You gotta have to dry it out first too. So
yeah, that might attract creatures.
Topsy does peep up at this point, saying that light tends to attract creatures. Especially
like a
in
moth to a
dark
flame.
places.
So for these days that we're traveling, those of us who don't have dark vision, which I think is just Tache and Prescott,
Yeah, I
are
don't
we
have
just
it.
kind of following along? If I'm searching for food, I'm gonna have to cast it.
Yeah, I have to keep a torch on me lit, basically. Unless I'm with you.
Yeah, we'll just walk together. I'll light your trunk.
Me and my best friend.
Basically.
Something, something, something till the end.
So should we have the light on while we're traveling?
We're going slow, so I say yes.
Okay.
Well, slow is, well, we can stealth, but stealth with light equals nothing.
Well, regardless, you and I need enough light to see 5 feet in front of us.
True.
But if for her and I, so if we're going slow, a full light, if we were going a normal pace, I'd say hide it. But I don't know. We could do both technically. We just need 5 feet in front of us unless we camp at night, and in which case we need a little bit more than that.
Because I'm imagining being the Underdark. It's not like when it's like a really dark night outside. I mean, it would be like completely pitch black. Like
Yes.
hand in front of face, can't see it. So
yes. Which is part of the
I
reason
think,
why I'm in the middle.
yeah, so I think that someone who doesn't have dark vision, I just don't think that they would even, I mean, for days and days and days like that, walking, casting it occasionally, I don't know.
Well, I guess
I
you and
don't
I
know
are
if that's
both in the middle.
realistic.
If either way, whether we're single file or dual, you and I are in the middle, which makes sense for night vision wise. We really only need
Yeah.
enough to see the person in front of us.
True. So I think that light, I'm just looking at the
Assuming
okay, the
we trust the two
brightness.
people in front of us.
Well, we're gonna have to. That's right.
Bright,
It's not the spoony bard or the drunkard. They're behind us, so yeah.
The
bright light.
spoony bard.
Light casts bright light in a 20-foot radius and dim light for another 20 feet.
That's a lot.
So we get 30.
So it might be better just to have a torch between us.
Is she able to suppress that?
Torches
cover it
are
up.
exactly the same.
Oh, well then it's a lot easier to cover up, you know, a rock that I cast light on
Yeah.
and
We can
keep it under your shirt or something so at least it's glowing up that we can see a bit.
I'll cover stool, and then you cast it on him. He'll be our mushroom of light. And it'll go through the shirt so it'll dim it.
That sounds good.
And we have a mushroom disco ball. If I spin him. I fucking love this plan.
So me and Prescott are walking down the
Well, he does have
corridor.
he does have the chain shirt on, so
So he's only casting light through the rings. That's exactly. It's a disco ball, a mushroom disco ball.
So we're trying to attract creatures? Is that what's going on? Like, because if
So-
that's the case, we're gonna like go really far out in the front.
So I'm guessing. So anyway, we should definitely say it's just dark, and we need to have this light. So we're going to make.
I just was trying to figure out a way to dim it. I guess I could just put a shirt over him. It's like putting a drape over a light bulb.
Yeah, so that it's less of a like light that's like super bright. It's going to extend out from us. But
I want to at least cut all of those numbers in by like half if we can.
and the other consideration is how is this going to affect the people who are sensitive to light?
Well,
With us being in the
they're not sensitive to light. They just have dark vision. So in the
they're
same
not vampires.
Some of the NPCs might be sensitive to light.
well,
Or are they?
I only care about Stool and Topsy and Turvy.
Well, that's wrong.
I'm not a paladin. Fuck off.
She rolls her eyes.
So does their? I guess the best way to put it, ask Jade is, with their plan being the way it is it going to negatively impact the party?
It will.
Light of any sort is still going to attract creatures. The brightness of the light will affect how far away it can be seen from.
That's what I was thinking. With us going slow.
At the moment, you guys have not had any branches of this tunnel. So it's just been one continuous tunnel you've been going down.
Can the light spell be extinguished at will?
I would hope so.
It says duration 1 hour.
How do you cast it? Is it a spell or is it a cantrip?
It's a cantrip, but it also says, hold on. Oh, you're gonna like this. The light can be colored as you like. Completely covering the object with something opaque blocks the light. The spell ends if you cast it again or dismiss it as an action.
Something opaque blocks the light, like completely?
Yeah, it just says blocks the light.
Okay, so then cast a purple light on stool, chainmail on through the holes. Hopefully we cut it in half. And yes, purple.
And spin him on the end of your trunk. That's awesome.
You spin me right round, baby, right round.
Really quick, if anybody needs it, I'm gonna take a quick bio break.
Yeah, I need to refill my burr. All right, thanks.
Excuse me, a what?
Burr.
She has a bear nearby. It's fantastic. I think his name is Bob.
Hey, there's a
you should
lot of
meet him.
black bears around here.
I heard bio break.
Yeah, well, we also got the what's it called, Umbrella Corp down the road, so you just gotta watch out. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it.
It is because of the beer that I need a bio break.
I've never heard it referred to like this. This is fucking weird. And I am out of energy drink and rum, so I need more. One is the loneliest number that
Yeah, it's
you
ridiculous.
ever knew. Oh, you're still here. Never mind.
Yes, I am. Screw you.
Look, I haven't killed you yet. Shut up.
Yet being the operative term.
Well, because, I mean, look, take the cat man away from me. I'm still me underneath.
I distinguish between the two very little. All I see is different shades of Brad.
Oh, are we taking an official break now?
Yeah, go for it.
Exactly what I was getting at.
We're still fucking around, apparently.
Her and Terry and I were talking, and then I heard bio break, and then we stopped to discuss what the fuck a bio break is, because I've never heard that before.
Oh, really?
Apparently.
I know this as once again. Every game I started playing on here, like people say bio break, and I'm like, oh, okay. So, it's always been restroom break or bathroom break.
I mean, they both kind of work.
Unless I'm in the middle of like talking, I'm just gonna get up and go pee, or tell you I'm gonna get a go. I gotta get more rum. I'm just gonna say that.
I mean, for me personally, I kind of need to alert that I'm gonna be away from keyboard for a minute.
Well, you're different.
Well, I mean, you guys were in the middle of chatting. I didn't want to interrupt. I was like, let me dip out real quick.
I talk a lot, to be quite honest. Just tell me to shut up sometimes.
It's okay. I've probably had to do that for close to half an hour now.
What, tell me to shut up? No, you've been telling me for that 6.5 years. Oh, no, you mean peeing.
I mean taking a quick bio break for at least half an hour.
I really thought you meant telling me to shut up.
Wait, half an hour? My god. That's a hell of a long bio break.
Like I said, 6.5 years, but she's been having to pee for, half an hour.
Oh, well. Yeah, I mean...
It's like, well, then you should shut up and let her go.
I know, how dare I.
I mean, I already went.
Yeah, she's done.
Never mind then.
She can also pee fast.
Well, I would hope that most people would.
That's a weird fact to have out there.
I mean,
you were gone for like 15 seconds. If no one could deduce that. Also running out of rum.
Shame on you.
This was a giant thing of rum that I got as a going away present from my old store. And it's almost gone.
I mean, he says almost gone. It's still got about a third of it. Maybe a quarter.
About a fourth.
For him, almost gone.
Well, here, let me pour. So we're at about a fourth now.
I know how he pours his shots.
Yeah.
Still like a fourth.
So we've most of this game so far has been logistics.
Basically.
Yep.
It's like we're playing Oregon Trail of the Underdark.
Well, I have to say that very first campaign we did, I rolled so well in a way that we essentially became owners of a tavern, And I basically demanded that Brad make us a tavern owner minigame, and he never did, and we ended the thing pretty much right after that. So I was just like, damn you. He basically should have said just like, what, everyone gets 100 gold, now fuck off.
Yeah, D&D basically became run an inn simulator.
Well, right now, um, now that Taché has swapped out for Create or Destroy Water, you only need to worry about the food part of it at least.
Indeed. Now we just gotta hope they roll well.
Wait, we were not made aware of the destroy part. Excuse me?
That's the spell name.
I know,
Oh.
but all I heard about it was the creation part, not the destroying part.
Well, yes, it's a. I can create or destroy water. I can also make it rain.
Oh! I've heard this phrase before. Prescott scrolls through a few of his pages. Make it rain, baby!
Well, we've got the light.
If you guys couldn't tell, Prescott has no social awkwardness.
You mean no social filters?
Same difference.
And Taché doesn't notice, so she's fine.
Exactly. Prescott has no
That's
idea.
why we're hanging out.
And you have no idea. Yeah, that's why we're best friends.
Okay, alternatively, water can fall as rain in a 30-foot cube, extinguishing exposed flames in the area. You can also destroy up to 10 gallons of water in an open container within range. Alternatively, you can destroy fog in a 30-foot cube within range. So there you go.
Hearing the description, he flips through a few more pages. Umbrella, umbrella, umbrella.
Umbrella?
Are you
I
trying
don't
to
know.
sing?
I heard it. I heard it a while ago.
Wow. I'm very impressed.
What the? We've spent almost 3 hours of logistics and bullshit.
Well, okay. But you know what? We're going to be traveling around here for a long time. And so now when we travel, it's like,
Please just
okay,
tell. Please,
make survival checks and we have a rhythm now.
that's true. But please just tell me we go past the next 6 days uneventful. I just want to do something.
Agreed.
Well, on the 4th day,
Oh fuck me.
there's a reason why I had you roll the first 3.
Darkness.
On the 4th day of Underhell, my true love came to me.
Anyway, Jade, you were saying?
On the 4th day of your travels, or what you assume is the 4th day, it's all a little bit wonky considering.
I thought you were gonna say on what you assumed of is travels.
I mean, that too, everything looks pretty much the same. It's kind of hard to tell, besides the fact that the tunnel itself seems to widen in places and shrink in others, and kind of maybe go up and down.
Prescott likes it wide. I mean,
No.
wider. Fuck it, whatever.
You hear some muttering up ahead.
I extinguish the light.
We all hear it.
Yeah, if they've already extinguished it, I'm not going to yell back to extinguish it. But if we hear muttering ahead, it'd be like, kind of get the hand signal for everybody to go down.
I stop and put stool behind me, hold up my trunk, and smell and listen.
Yeah, I'd say everybody hears this. Most of you have no clue what's said.
Am I
At least I
able to
think
discern?
so.
Am I able? Well, I don't know.
So we
Maybe
hear this
Prescott.
up ahead.
Common, Elvish, Loxodon, and Undercommon. If it's another fucking elephant, I know I hear him.
I highly doubt that.
I know Loxodon. No one else does.
Yeah, the only other language I speak is Abyssal, other than Draconic and Common.
Well, what would you know? They're chanting Abyssal.
Of course, it's mostly the two that aren't currently present that understand this. But Prescott, you also hear this.
Am I able to discern if it's like chanting or spell intonation or like because there's like you can tell a rhythm and a pattern even if you don't understand it. Am I able to discern either magical or religious?
Um, let's see how this works.
Oh yay! Because I love hearing that. Macne Haravis. Okay, yeah, I get that. No, I was reading the untranslated bit. Well, cool. And apparently, I accidentally told people what it was.
Yeah, don't click and drag in the chat. But I mean, you could have told people.
Yeah, that's true. I stop and I hear it and I repeat it back subtly and quietly. No, I quickly before I say, "Hey, little buddy, we need your spores." And then, assuming he poofs, I then think that to everybody.
Um,
If we're double wide, that should fit everybody that is of concern. Oh, or um, awakened mind, because I'm an idiot. Starting at first level, your alien knowledge gives you the ability to touch the minds of other creatures. You can communicate telepathically with any creature you can see within 30 feet. You don't need to share a language with the creature for it to understand your telepathic utterances, but the creature must be able to understand at least one language. So it needs to be sentient enough. So then, no, yeah, with awakened mind, then fuck, I love little buddy, but just telling literally everybody that I can see, I stop, pull down, and then they're chanting. They're saying or words, not chanting. They're speaking. How much longer do we have?
I'm also assuming this happens before the light goes out.
I would have extinguished the light as soon as we heard chanting, or
And
as soon
then
as we heard voices
The
and
and then I would
mentioning.
have gotten low and hid little buddy
my
instead.
assumption is that Prescott's quick telepathic burst happened like pretty much the same moment the light went out. It's kind of both on the same turn.
That's up to you. To be fair, I forgot I had this. So
It, mostly because it specifies um, one thing that it specifies that you have to see the creature to be able to use a awakened mind.
so only those in front of me then.
I was thinking more that you can see everybody the light hits.
Within line of sight then.
Yeah, so basically everybody.
Oh yeah, if you snuffed out the light, I technically wouldn't be able to see anybody.
Which is why I was saying just before the light goes out, you all hear this telepathic message. You can't respond, because the awakened mind doesn't allow that, but you do know what was just said. Or at least, you hear the words, and you don't know if it's connected to that or not. Because this is the first time that Prescott has done this.
I speak out loud quietly. Hi, I forgot that I could speak telepathically. Just ignored that part.
Tashe is just going to be very quiet. It's very dark. And someone just said, "How much longer do we have?" So she's just really quiet and she's going to wait instruction.
That's probably an ambush.
Well, I will try to remember the things that I've learned across my travels much more diligently in the future. Out of character, she had to tell me I had this. I'm so sorry.
So, can Crystal
This is your
Fist?
first time adventuring?
This is my first time with a warlock at this length.
But your character's level 1, so.
That's true.
Alright, what were you saying, Majima?
Oh, I was just gonna say, if we're all stopped and we're all kind of listening, can Crystal Fist and I kind of like edge our way forward and kind of see if we can see anything?
So, am I the only one that knows Undercommon?
I guess so, because
I don't know
unfortunately,
it.
all I know is like, I guess Drow, which would be Elvish, and then Common.
I knew picking Undercommon would fucking come in handy immediately.
Well, both Mavis and Thulwar know it as well, but
Of
neither one
course.
is currently present.
Uh,
And you're pretty sure that most of your NPCs know it as well. At the moment, Stool can't talk.
because I covered him in chainmail.
Because he can only speak when it's forced.
Oh yeah. But he understands us. Or can I, since I'm holding him, can I speak telepathically just to him since I'm literally touching him? I know it's at sight, but it's dark.
I would allow that.
I ask him, hey, little buddy, it's dark. I need to be able to speak with everybody. Can you please do your thing for me?
Um,
Followed by silence is the best answer your DM can give you.
you get no answer.
Little buddy, are you there?
He hasn't moved, but you get no answer.
He has moved or hasn't moved?
Has not. He's still in your trunk.
No, he's not in the trunk. I'm holding him.
That's an image.
I very quickly ignore everything that's going in front of me, pull the chainmail off, and like I'm poking him. I'm like, little buddy, out loud, little buddy,
I mean, it wiggles in your hand.
little buddy.
You killed it, didn't you, you monster?
I'm gonna look back and go, shh, shh.
Little buddy is hurt.
Oh God, we're dead.
I hope you're doing this telepathically.
Oh no, because I can't see anyone. You snuffed out the light, so now I have to speak it out loud.
Oh my god.
Realizing very quickly what's going on. Oh! You hear literally like the elephant like just.
All right, I've got both my crossbows out. Is anything coming towards us?
They heard me speaking very quietly, just so that the parties can hear me. The main party can hear me. They heard me. They asked if someone was ahead. But little buddy, someone heal little buddy. This is the first This is technically the first creature that Prescott has become attached to in this world. So he is now very upset.
Tasha's gonna be kind of torn about what to do at this immediate moment, but since he's right behind her, can she? I mean, she can't see anything. The most
I'm
she
right
can
next to
do
you.
is just
Are we single
she
file or
can
2 by
put her
2?
hand. Yeah.
At the moment, this is a single wide tunnel.
So I'm in front of you.
Around probably about 60 feet or so ahead of you, you see a very extremely faint bit of light. And this would be in front of Bulwar.
How far ahead? How far ahead?
About 60 feet.
Is that what you just said? Yeah, okay, cool. My brain was thinking of what I'm going to do. I didn't hear 60 feet.
All right.
Majima, make a perception check with advantage because of your dark vision.
All right.
I swear to God, if you tell me that Stool is sleeping, I'm going to fucking kill you. And by the way, yeah, she's just laughing at me over there.
With that roll, you can see 4 Kuotoa up ahead. They seem to be...
Are those bird people?
That's the same race as Shushar.
Okay, that one. Never mind, sorry.
They seem to be carrying fairly heavy loads. You can't tell what they're carrying at this distance, but they're carrying something with them.
All right. So I'll look back at the group and just say that kind of relay that and kind of look back if I can see Shushar and be like, we got 4 of your people ahead. They're carrying something large. Do you have any idea of what that could be? Or do you want to try to talk to them?
Shushar thinks for a moment and then kind of stands up a little bit straighter, like he suddenly had some sort of epiphany, and he says, sometimes my people come out to trade with other races of the Underdark.
Have they come into mine and Tasha's vision?
I don't see shit.
You see the light, but you see no details.
So if they already know we're here, perhaps we should just stand up and reveal ourselves.
Well, and so Prescott being blinded by potential severe sadness, knowing that they know a language because I could hear them literally speak, and then seeing a blob, am I able to telepathically commute with them? Oh no, but they're not within 30 feet. I ruined my own plan. Either way, I can't communicate, but seeing the blob and seeing the light, immediately I let out a giant elephant. I don't know what you would call it, a roar, but from an elephant's point of view, through my trunk, as loud as possible.
Good God! You're gonna scare these poor people.
That's the point.
How about we let Shushar go first, and we'll follow him?
Can we even get somebody around? The hallway's small. We're all in a single file. Can we get him up front?
I didn't hear any of that conversation. Hence, blinded by sadness. I just see things coming, and my little buddy is potentially dead. They're not people, but humanoids.
All right,
So
well,
suddenly there's this loud trumpeting noise coming from your elephant man.
I'm
Prescott's
just gonna
smart.
facepalm.
Prescott is smart, but not that smart.
Shushar calls out in. I don't think anyone recognizes the language.
Oh, if it was whoever's background music, I heard Shushar say "baby" just fine. Background noise, not music. Yeah, I don't know that.
Understood by nobody.
Great. So we're with somebody who could be trying to kill us right now.
Majima, you watch as the Kuotoa ahead, who had become very tense and incredibly wary of what's ahead of them, hearing the very loud echoing noise. They seem to kind of hesitantly relax at Shushar's words.
All right, well then I guess we'll move forward. I mean, I'm gonna move forward with if Crystal Fist will go with me. We'll kind of move forward with our weapons drawn and down, but not pointed at them. And hopefully the rest of the group will move up with Shushar and he can kind of
I don't.
diffuse the situation further.
Well, as soon as Shushar spoke and there was communication between the two, Tashe would drop and feel around for Stool and do a med check. I don't know what med check she could do if it's completely blinded.
And not
She's just
knowing
she's just gonna cast light. She's gonna cast it right there.
and being blind to all, I mean, not physically blind, but like mentally blind to all this, I'm literally using my trunk and with the two sides like fingers, I'm doing like little chest compressions on somewhere on Stool.
So I cast light, I turn, and I investigate Stool. That's like there's two things going
Since
on. I don't
you,
know if Shushar's climbing over us or what.
it's kind of a tight squeeze, but Shushar does manage to squeeze past you guys. It would be more of a problem if it was during combat, but so far nobody's attacking anybody.
Give me 5 minutes.
Yeah, probably.
In the meantime, Tashe, make a medicine check for me with disadvantage. So roll one more time.
Oh, damn, and that was a good one too. You better roll a 20. Damn.
Still not bad.
But a 19 out of 20 would have been better.
Yeah.
It was disadvantage because it is a creature type that you're unfamiliar with.
Right.
You do know that Stool is not hurt, but in your experience just being around Stool, you know that he really doesn't have a way to communicate other than his spores. There's no face to make facial expressions. It's not like it has a mouth to bite. It's pretty much literally just a fungus mushroom thing.
It's literally a sentient giant shiitake mushroom.
It doesn't look hurt. It doesn't have a way to communicate I don't want to, or what you're asking of me would not reach everybody. without using his spores.
So I could have just put metal on him that was toxic to him and not known.
Do we know how to get him to release his spores? Just ask him.
I can, chest compressions, push, push, puff.
Stop that.
Oh,
I tell him, Prescott, stop it.
but little buddy.
Shh. Ask him to
N-
release
n-
his spores again. He's not hurt.
okay, I'm using telepathic and words and holding him and looking at him. Little buddy, could you please talk with me? Speak. Communication.
At this point, he does actually go ahead and release the spores. Mostly it would be NPCs that are affected this time because
They're all crowded around me looking at what the fuck's the elephant doing?
Shushar and the two up front went up to deal with the Kuotoa, whoever they are.
Oh, does that mean Tungdill finally got some spores in him?
That kind of depends. Did Tungdil try and move forward, or were you staying behind and just
I
kind
am
of
the rear
watching?
guard.
Because if Tungdil's still in the back, there's no way for the spores to reach him.
Well,
Yep, still in the back.
why not? Following our formation, he's literally right behind me.
Following your formation,
And I'm
Tashay and
holding.
Mavis are between
Line.
you and Tungdil.
Oh, we're single file. Excuse me.
Yes.
Shit. Okay, yeah.
Foo.
He could be like
Well,
one person closer because Shushar got out of the line, but that's it.
yeah, I don't know. That's up to you. Because at this point, I would be turned around looking at Tashay with
And of course, Mavis would be
Stool.
there too.
Wow.
Are you okay?
I labeled him as the ass. He's not here. Little buddy with the spores popping. Little buddy, are you okay? Tears streaming down Prescott's face.
You hear. You asked Stool
Squeaks of
to do
pain.
something Stool can't do.
What can't you do, little buddy?
You wanted to speak with everybody. There's not enough room here to affect everybody.
But why weren't you moving? And so Tashay and I can hear this?
Yes.
His spores went out. Okay. So, but are you okay? You weren't moving.
You milked him dry of his spores, you monster.
I protect little buddy and put chainmail on him, and then we light him and use him as tool and friend and best friend and like awesome friend. And you and the Loxodon who likes to use big words just suddenly cannot get any word out.
Stool's movement is limited. Stool has legs and body, and that's it.
Prescott, I think he's totally fine. He's not hurt, and I don't think the chainmail was hurting him either. Are you okay? And I'm kind of turning around, looking at Majima and of where they are, and seeing how things are going over there. Also,
I totally do that.
you're taking good care of him.
And up ahead, with Shushar as kind of the middleman, because Shushar and Thulwar would both be middlemen in this case, because Majima doesn't speak Undercommon. You get the basic information that these Kuotoa are actually traders from Slubluudop. As in, like, merchants, not they.
Slave trade.
Definitely not like traders to their people.
Oh, that kind of trader.
A slave trader would also not be good because I'd probably
Kill them.
just immediately.
So knowing that Prescott heard and understood them, I'm going to say, okay, pick up stool. They may need you over there to talk. Come on.
I did just quick 2 trumpets.
Grab your stool. Let's go.
Little buddy.
And I'm
Well, I
gonna
don't think
usher
that's what he
Prescott
calls
towards
it, but hey.
Majima. Sorry, what?
Fuck you.
You got it. You got it.
Never mind. I don't want to know.
Yeah, you
So
probably
now-
don't. You don't.
That's
so
not
we're
what he-
walking toward Majima to see what's going on up there.
Prescott is just wiping away the tears, holding little buddy really close to him. For probably no reason.
He was just taking a nap and you wouldn't, disturb.
Prescott hears kind of just a very soft hum.
Like they're saying hum, or like an actual hum, like an audio hum, a noise.
The equivalent of an audio hum, but telepathically. And you have a feeling that it's coming from stool. Just a happy noise.
Prescott, it's fine. He's purring. Come on.
Prescott stopped. Little buddy. Little buddy.
Aww.
I can't tell if it's because I was worried about you or if I'm holding you close. But little buddy, best friend. These Kuotoa are probably standing there. What the fuck is that thing?
Yeah, Majima, you may have to do so.
Why is this elephant holding a
Diplom-
mushroom and making really loud noises?
I'm ignoring this. Like I'm just pretending it's not happening.
Essentially.
And
So-
just dealing with the merchants and Shushar.
After a little bit, it kind of gets across the fact that they were headed from Slubluudop with their goods. Mostly food, but also just stuff found around Dark Lake.
AKA, I'm just gonna continue ahead. Stop interrupting me, you assholes.
Basically,
What?
We can follow them back to Slubluudop.
Sorry, that was out of character. Just Christina's. Basically, you get the idea.
she's giving you the look, isn't she?
No, I've been looking down.
They were headed from Slubluudop to a place called Grackle Stuff.
Oh, yeah, I read that. Or heard that. And forgot to actually tell anyone this.
So this
You
place
monster.
is it closer to the mushrooms home? Like, can we go there with them instead? Because obviously Shushar is in a good spot right now. Like, he could literally just follow them, and he's got like a group. So
Well,
mission accomplished for Shushar.
with no bends. How? We've gone along basically a straight path.
Well, this is an intersection, right?
This is still that same tunnel.
Oh, but they're heading in the opposite direction?
Yeah.
They were
There was just a
headed
bend in the
toward you.
tunnel. There was a bend in the tunnel.
Oh, wait. So they're heading from the place we came from.
No, they're heading from
No.
the opposite direction. We're going towards their village. They're coming from the village.
We're going north, they're going
supposedly.
south.
Right, but they're heading
Basically.
towards our prison.
Yes.
Because there's only one way to go, which
Yep.
means they're trading with our prison.
Or they're
Or
to be
going
fair.
past it.
Yeah, I was gonna say, to be fair, the prison was like a crossroads, so to speak. So they could be, instead of going to the prison, they could be going to the prison and then taking a left at Albuquerque.
So yeah, we'll probably just Shushar's probably not going to want to go back in that direction. So
Hearing this though, and knowing where they're going, Prescott asks, "Where is Grolkstug?" And he mispronounces the fuck out of it.
There's a few verbal hoops, it sounds like, to get through. You do get the straight answer, Prescott, because you do speak Undercommon.
Worst case scenario, I could penetrate their mind.
That's one way to put that.
Yeah, I don't like the sound of that.
But I want to see if I can get a verbal answer out of them.
And they say using this path is about a month.
Okay, so well past our prison.
You guys have been traveling for about 4 days.
Significantly past our prison. So then I look at them and going, all right, well then, in Undercommon, as long as you're not going to the prison, this guy won't want to kill you, so you're okay.
They look very confused at the mention of a prison.
Picking up on that, I look at Shushar. Huh? Well,
Shushar is probably just as confused as you are, considering Shushar was with you.
Shushar, you know we were in a prison, right? I speak that in common.
We were detained in a place, yes.
Is that not what you would call a slave prison?
Perhaps they don't
It's
see it
a
as a
drow
prison.
city, not a prison in and of itself. It's a very large location. The prison was a small section of this.
well, it was an outpost. It wasn't a
Yes.
large city. It was an outpost.
Oh, I thought it was the actual city there. Well, close
part
enough.
of it, potentially part of a city.
Keep in mind that this outpost was built into the roof of a very large cavern.
Exactly. It's not like the Underdark is a small place in that regard.
Do I get the idea that the three, however many, four of these people in front of us, and I can't remember their race because rum, but do I get the idea that they are understanding me in common?
No.
Cool. I look at Majima. They have no idea there's a prison that way.
Yeah, well, I mean, kind of makes sense considering what's going on. Maybe.
Oh, and they don't understand common, so go at it.
I was going to say, why don't you let them know that there is one, that they need to be wary of being waylaid by drow and having them steal all their stuff, because that's kind of what happened to most of us. I, on the other hand, was in the middle of a battle, and I got captured. So a little bit different.
instead of telling them this in Undercommon, I speak telepathically to them because I assume now everyone's kind of in the same relative. They're holding a light, we're holding a light, close enough. I telepathically tell them this so that there's suddenly clear communication, and they understand what I mean 100%, or as close to it. What he said, but Prescott actually says it.
There's a moment of panic across their face.
Oh yeah, I can speak telepathically. Don't worry, I just learned about this 20 minutes ago too, so you're okay.
And they say, we didn't even know that drow were ahead.
Drow, arachnid, a big fucking fall, a lot of alcohol. This dwarf loves it. And at this point, I'm actually casting this to everybody in the region.
I'm gonna look at Shushar and be like, Shushar, maybe you should explain this a little bit in detail to your people.
There are felonious fuckers that way.
Don't know if they know what the word felonious is.
Hence telepathically.
I mean, that doesn't mean that they understand what that word is, just that they hear the word and understand that it is a word.
No, they picked up fuckers. But also, that doesn't mean Prescott knows his words either. Personally, I know what that word means. But that doesn't mean Prescott knows it.
Prescott, could you ask them if they normally encounter drow when they trade?
Drow, you come across them? Ever?
Of course, we trade in crackle stuff.
I tell her that.
But our paths change.
I also tell her that.
Usually it takes less than a month to travel. But our usual path caved in.
Oh, yeah, I hear about those worms that you kind of can accidentally walk into. Yeah, they mess up some shit.
Well, since this is a new path for them, Shushar, maybe you should give them the heads up on what's ahead. Or
There's a prison that way, and they will kill you.
it's an outpost.
They'll still kill you, or try to, or arrest
They'll-
you.
Yeah,
They'll just
Shushar,
steal your stuff
perhaps
and enslave you.
yeah, for Shushar, you should tell them that they imprisoned you, so obviously they're not above imprisoning denizens of the Underdark.
And to be
Perhaps
fair,
they should
I'm
go.
just and I'm confusing the fuck out of them because I'm saying this half in undercommon, common, and telepathically. It's all coming in different directions.
As far as you can tell, these Kuotoa are very confused and very overwhelmed.
Whee!
All right,
But
Shushar,
they
work
seem
your
to
magic.
take it all in stride. Everything that they're being told.
They're a fairly prideful people.
I'm gonna
It
look at
seems like
Majima.
they've either heard or done crazier things.
I'd like to top that with my little buddy named Stool.
Perhaps they're okay.
Um, it seems between everyone that can speak together, it seems like they're still set on going this specific direction.
I'm gonna back up against the wall and give them room to go.
Real quick before you go, I hold up Stool. Have you seen where this thing goes? She's not responding. She's just laughing. Give her a second. She has her hand in her face.
They look very interested in whatever this moving mushroom is.
And don't touch it. I've already been to the edge today. Don't you dare push me.
But they don't seem to recognize what stool is.
Great. Denizens of the Underdark don't know what the fuck this thing I'm holding is. Great. Prescott ends up with cancer at the end of this.
Before they go, I'm gonna see if I can trade one of these chainmail shirts.
I was gonna say food. Yes, food.
And a 50-foot hempen rope for some food.
Have they ever seen a quill before? That might blow their mind. Because I'm not actually writing a map for you.
And a dagger, and I'll trade a dagger.
I just said I'm doing a map for you, but a quill might blow their mind.
Wait, you're not drawing the map anymore?
Shut up!
Wait, I thought we made this very clear. This was your job.
I stopped 7 days ago.
We haven't been walking for 7 days.
Feels like it, damn it.
Oh my. Okay. Well, let me see what I can trade. Are they up for trading?
As
By the
Prescott,
way,
as Prescott clutches his book and stool. Ah!
So you're looking to trade a dagger, the hempen rope, and a chain shirt.
Mm-hmm. I mean, the chain shirt should be worth around 50 gold pieces, so...
I have a few things. Anything that we can use to get ahead, let me know. I'm going to use the restroom real fast.
So
Barter for food.
between the four of them, they're willing to sell only 8 days worth of rations. They have to have food to keep going as well.
For one person?
Okay, so how much? Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
Which is about 4 gold worth of food.
Okay, tell you what, if I can trade the hempen rope and one of my daggers if somebody else can trade something else worth 1 gold, and that would bring us up to 4 gold worth of stuff.
I'll
Keep
just
in
give them
mind that
a
this
gold.
is people buying things that you just happen to have. It's not a one-to-one trade.
Oh.
Yeah, you have to haggle.
Who's good at haggling?
I don't have the haggle skill, sorry.
Well, as a group, I'll contribute a hemp rope and a dagger.
Channeling the Spoony Bard, I have a little bit of performance. Can Mavis and can I like trumpet and him sing? I have a +4 to performance and see if that like gives them a smile and a discount.
Prescott, you're going to scare them.
You've already probably scared them as it is.
So they won't know what to make with me. Perfect. They'll just give me all their stuff.
They don't seem like they're the kind of creatures to care so much about music.
Boo, you people have no fun.
But you, one of you can make a persuasion check. And that'll show me how much, basically the trade value would be.
I have a +4.
I've got
That's better than me.
I've got a +6.
Jesus, you're persuading them.
All right, I'll roll it out in the open, guys. How about that?
Yay!
Just for you.
Yay!
Oh my
And
god,
your
that was an
first
awful.
open roll fucking sucked. All right, cool. You're not doing that again.
Hey,
Please roll in the tower from now on.
well, there you go.
I don't, unless it's attack rolls. I don't want to know.
Oh, Brad, we want to see all your ones.
So, when you say it's not a 1-for-1 trade, what exactly do you mean by that?
Flash them. They might like that more than my performance.
Well, with that baseline roll,
Literally baseline.
that's what it ended up being total. It's about they will buy. Basically, they're buying your stuff in trade for their stuff. You need to meet 4 gold at least. Um, and as such, they're willing to buy your stuff at half price.
Seeing that this isn't going the right way, I literally take the quill out of my pocket or whatever, hold it out, and Joda! And see if they make any movement or any whatever.
Make a insight check for me, Prescott.
You couldn't say investigation or history, no. Or even deception.
Sucks to be you.
You
Tisk,
aren't sure,
tisk,
but
tisk.
you think these creatures think that you're crazy.
Well, they're not wrong.
I'll pull out one of because I've got 2 shields. I'll pull out the other shield that's worth 10 gold. That should be way more than enough to get 4 gold worth of food. And I'll look at them and be like, "This is an excellent deal."
Just give them the shield, not just the shield.
I've got 2 shields. I give them 1 shield, so just kind of pass it to them. One of the ones that we took. I keep my shield because my shield's cool. It's got a bat wing on it.
Batman. As Prescott's looking at his book, another thing I heard.
I will also take off my backpack and pull out my case. I have a scroll case, and I'll take the journals out of this and kind of stuff those back into my backpack. And it's kind of a dark wood with metal hinges, but it's very shiny. And I'll bring it up to them and show them that it opens and closes.
Look, if they think I'm insane with a feather, I'm sure they're gonna think you're insane with a goddamn hatch.
Well, I'm still waiting to see what they say about the shield. So, how about we see what they
Yes.
say about the shield before we trade them
She's
anything
opening
else?
and closing a box, and I'm holding a feather, and you're just like, shut up!
I mean, the thought's pretty comical. I'll give you that. And Majima's not exactly the most comical person. Ironically, this is the most serious character I've ever played.
Which is probably opposed to the most insane character you've ever met.
They look at Majima.
Maybe.
They look at Majima and kind of seem to speak amongst themselves for a moment
Which I can hear.
in a language you don't understand.
Fuck.
Shushar's listening in though.
Of course.
And they look at Majima and they accept his trade.
All right. I thank them, pass them the shield, and I get us 8 days worth of rations. And this is why we take the rest of the stuff with us.
Well, I
Right?
could have intimidated,
Good
but
idea.
you know.
I mean, we have to live. Well, I have to live down here, so I don't need. I don't need to make any more enemies than I've already got.
I might have alcohol in me, but Tungdill doesn't.
All right, Jade, you want me to just go ahead and take it away out of my inventory? Is that all right?
That will work. I have a cat
Oh.
meowing at me, and I don't know why.
Yes. Many reasons.
Yeah, well, in the middle of the night, he fucking howls out here by
Mhm.
himself. So who knows?
Mm-hmm. I know that.
Cool. So it's not just me in the middle of the goddamn night. Just howl. I had to get up like 4
Yes.
times last night and scream out the door, "Shut up!" And he didn't.
You should have let him in.
Oh no,
So-
the door was open.
Well, then there you go.
So do you want me to just carry the rations, guys? I'll just
Go for it.
add it to my inventory, and if
No
we need
matter.
it, I'll break it out.
Unless you're lying about your alignment, so far I trust you. Come to find out that we give him everything and he's an oathbreaker.
As Prescott wakes up in the morning with a great sword in his back.
Let's say I don't think I've ever told you guys my alignment, so I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh, fuck.
I digress.
Christina, is he gonna murder us?
Anyway, it's late. Gonna pass out. Bye.
Oh, see ya.
That wasn't fast.
I know, I'm good like that.
Not what I meant.
So is this where we're ending our journey for
The
this evening? I
update.
take it. It is 11:44 for me, so
Yeah,
In the
for
middle of the
tonight, that's
dark
good.
tunnel.
I got that. I know, that's very informative. From here, would you guys continue on? Would you change path? So far, you haven't found any like forks that would take you somewhere other than the direction you're headed? Or back towards where you were kept prisoner?
That noise, by the way, was our cat falling out the goddamn window.
that's not good.
He's fine. He's just an idiot.
I think we forward ahead, as long as Shushar thinks that it's going to be safe for us there.
And Prescott does want to ask them if it is safe ahead. He might be a little insane, but he wants to live.
They say that there's nothing that they came across that's more dangerous than normal.
What's normal exactly?
I mean, here in the Underdark.
Right. So they might know, but I'm from a different world. You know, a city in the clouds, a giant world of machine. What's normal over here exactly?
They reiterate that it's no more dangerous than they're used to.
Great.
Okay, let's let them on their way and let's continue on. I'm sure Majima can fill you in on some of the interesting things that's around here.
That's right. I'm just glad that little buddy's okay. And then I put the chainmail shirt back on him.
He dies instantly.
He doesn't seem to mind the chainmail.
Yeah,
And
because
you,
now,
at this point, you are still telepathically connected.
That's exactly what I was gonna say. So now at least I know if this was gonna kill him or not.
You do notice as you leave the traders behind that Shushar is a little bit concerned.
Do we notice this?
Yeah, she just said so.
Well, I mean,
So we'd ask him why.
I was gonna say, let's stop going forward and basically, yeah, make him ask us why.
Shushar says that in his discussions with his people, this group of traders that you guys just met, he mentions that there was some sort of talk of a change in leadership in Slubudop.
I look at him and ask him, so what exactly does that mean? Were they our friends or no?
As far as they were aware, it's no more. It's they aren't more or less friends than they were before.
So the change of leadership was in Slubdop.
Yes.
So who knows what might be there.
He says that the archpriest was recently challenged and displaced by his daughter, but that these traders didn't have more details about what happened.
Like Shushar's daughter or the head priest's daughter?
Shushar.
The head priest. The archpriest was challenged and displaced by the archpriest's daughter.
Oh, I took you that as Shushar's daughter. Okay.
Why does this concern you?
The archpriest was leader for a very long time.
Were you a fan of his?
He kind of gets across the feeling that he knew where he stood with the archpriest, but he doesn't know what's changed with the archpriest's daughter taking over.
Was she like a ballbuster? Like, does she just have like different political views, or she took over by force?
Yeah, so
Shushar
that would be
has
my
no
guess.
clue what happened. He just knows what these traders have told him.
And what exactly did you tell them?
That this group has been helpful. And that I intend to spread word of my version of enlightenment and try to increase the numbers of Kuotoa who think the way that I do.
So, are we secretly helping you plan a political or religious coup? Because I won't be a part of a genocide.
I think
I've seen that happen.
It's more of like a missionary situation, I think.
Sure, but this is a different. We think that, but that's not necessarily what they think.
Shushar looks deeply offended by your words.
I just gotta ask, I might be insane, but I want to do good.
And you remember in your time escaping Velkenvelf that Shushar very specifically refused to fight.
He was a pacifist, I thought. Yeah.
I forgot that. I'm sorry.
I mean, no. I mean,
And to be fair, Prescott's been through a lot today, thinking he lost his best friend, his first best friend, not his second best friend.
you didn't have any best friends where you came from?
Prescott didn't have many friends where he came from.
That doesn't surprise me. Okay, so.
Out of character, fuck you.
But, okay, well, I mean, I guess, do you guys want to risk it? I mean, at this point, it's a dice roll anyway, whether we were going to be accepted there or not.
Well,
I still, out of character, still don't particularly care for being used as a political or religious pawn, but not that we have much of a choice right now.
well, we agreed to bring him to Slubluda, and what happens from there is really nothing that we can control.
I
If you
look at
guys
her
want
and
to get out,
I point at her and go, "Yeah, we agreed to bring you there. Anything new, you gotta run by the group."
And Shushar looks at you and looks at the group and kind of he says, that's all that our arrangement was for. You offered to assist me in getting home.
Yep, we're just trying to make sure that when we get you there, we don't get captured.
As far as I am aware, you will not be.
Being mistakenly associated with a political or religious coup could wind up poorly in our favor.
he has no intention of inciting a coup. He's simply going to go and talk to the people.
I don't
The people
care.
have been afflicted with madness.
I don't care if you do it peacefully or forcefully. A coup is a coup, and someone will take offense to that. Whether he's not dangerous doesn't mean they're not.
Let's
A
rephrase
coup
it. It's
is,
not
is an
that he's dangerous, it's his ideas are
overtaking
dangerous. But I'm sorry, I did not mean to interrupt you, man.
No, you're fine. That was all I was going to say.
Yeah, sorry. I talk a lot.
So it's fine.
Well,
Take
let's
a
just
deep
continue.
breath.
We'll do it. As long as you guys are cool. We're down to 3 people right now making decisions for the whole group. So, yeah.
It's at least
let's do it.
50-50.
Yes.
So, well, I mean that and all the NPCs, because all the NPCs are relying
And
on
apparently
us as well.
Mavis's turn is ready. Did Mavis just turn on us, like literally?
No,
Fucking I knew it. That's why he's not here.
I hit something I didn't mean to. It's okay.
Uh-huh. Suddenly Prescott has a knife in his back for not shutting up.
Okay. Well,
I'm joking.
that escalated quickly. So, but not. Yeah, no, okay. Well, I mean, I think we should continue as well. I agree with the group. We said we'd get this guy there.
I agree.
He doesn't seem terribly untrustworthy. A little idealistic, but not, untrustworthy per se.
Not specifically alluding to who Prescott says, as long as best friend 1 and best friend 2 are okay, I'm okay.
I'm okay.
I'm assuming he's talking about, he's, yeah, okay. Fair enough. We'll leave it at that.
And we will follow you.
Well, I'm sure I know Prescott's not talking about Majima, so.
Hey,
It's
there could
probably
be a
cliche.
Best Friends 3 in the future.
That could be the case if you don't just start blowing your elephant horn in the middle of like a possible combat scenario.
Well, then Stool shouldn't pretend like he's dead.
Maybe you
Eh,
shouldn't put so much pressure on him. The poor little guy
Well,
is just
maybe
trying to live his life.
maybe
You're
Stool should be a little bit more considerate of the feelings around him for others.
Prescott, have you ever considered meditation?
Matter what?
Meditation.
No, I have not. What is this?
I'll teach you this evening. Or what we think is going to be evening.
Before we go to sleep.
Is there like any kind of like anxiolytic we can give Prescott? Like just slip into his water?
I have an herbalism kit.
Oh,
Why don't you?
Jesus Christ!
I
You guys are
craft
gonna
a
sit. You
bomb.
guys are gonna sedate the elephant.
No, I'm gonna teach you.
Well, I mean, I'm just saying, if you have some like natural herbs to help calm him down a little bit, I
Being
wouldn't be
able,
opposed to you.
being able to telepathically like feel two different sides from Stool and from being a warlock, my awakened mind, feeling like the energy of like people wanting to sedate him. Prescott just holds up the book. Look, I've just been reading.
You've been reading.
Shut up!
I was asking a question. You said you've been reading. I was asking, what have you been reading?
And then Prescott puts the book away and then just continues on.
Let's pet Stool while we walk.
All right. Well, cool.
We got
Hey,
right to
Jade, by the way,
12:59.
appreciate you DMing. It's been fun this evening. Thank you very much. It's been great, guys.
Thank you. Thank you for doing this, Jade.
Of course.
You're telling her thank you. She looks at me and I'm just drinking more rum.
All right,
Thank you.
cool.
Thank you. I love you.
Well, I'll catch you on the Discord, but I'm planning on not next week, but the week after, right? We're still doing every other week,
As far
Mm-mm.
as I'm
far as you
aware,
know.
we won't be available next week. We're
Mm-hmm.
both going to be out of town.
Mhm.
I'll have mobile access, but I won't have a headset or anything.
And I won't have a computer. We're going to be 9 hours away.
Oh,
All
wow.
right.
Okay.
All right, well, we did good for missing 2 people.
3 if you count the last 15 minutes.
He stuck it out.
Longer
He was
than
stubborn.
normal.
Is he like very interactive, or like are we not including him enough?
Oh no, that's
Um,
just Silver.
A lot of it's because he has to get up early for his work.
So he's always tired near the end, and he's much